Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be taking a look at how your summer is going to go. We're going to get some predictions about your career, maybe some information about potential romance. That could be whether you're single or in a relationship. And then just some like general advice from your spirit guides about the summertime. So with that said, feel free to pause the video, pick whichever dragonfly is speaking the most to you, and let's get into today's reading. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. We are going to get some predictions for you about some things that might happen over the course of the summer. We're going to start with your career, and then we're going to take a look at love and romance, and then get some advice for you from your spirit guides. So let's get started with the career part. I do want to say that when I say career, I'm also talking about school or creative projects, whatever you're doing with your time or doing to make money, or both. So we'll see what comes out in the cards, and with that said, let's just jump right into it. So Spirit, what can you tell me about Pile 1's career over the summer, Spirit? What can you tell me about... okay. So, we have... okay, interesting. We have two major arcana right off the bat. I'm actually going to move these down here. They are a very similar color scheme. And the cards that we have here are the Chariot and the Hermit. Of course, the Chariot is associated with Cancer, the Hermit is associated with Virgo. You might have those placements, or you might not. Just take that however it resonates. And something that I'm noticing right off the bat is the Chariot is number 7, the Hermit is number 9. That would, correspond with me to the month of July and the month of September. So there might be, maybe not the typical way to read this, but since we're doing summer predictions, there could be a message that the Chariot is related to something that's going to happen in July. And then the Hermit is more related towards the end of the summer when we're getting close to September. And I do want to point out I'm seeing 11:11 on the clock. I don't know if that resonates for somebody, but I thought that I would mention it. And then it is interesting because these cards are all different colors, but it's kind of like a soft blue-purple kind of like lavender lilac color. And in addition to that, there's a thread on both cards of a light green and a light pink, which I would associate with both aspects of the heart chakra. So there's some heart chakra stuff going on, and then it's a kind of a soft energy that I would also associate with the third eye. So that could be saying that you might be going through a heart chakra expansion, might be related to this Hermit card. This is about your career, and we'll get into that, but this is just like general messages I'm seeing in the cards. And there could be a connection with the third eye, which could be a message from Spirit that your intuition is going to be very much on point when it comes to making career decisions for the summertime, and that there might be just an additional message in the colors of these cards that you can trust your intuition this summer. If you feel like you want to move forward with something and you have a gut feeling about it, you feel positive about it, it's a message to move forward with that. And if you feel like you need to take a step back from something and it doesn't feel right, doesn't feel like the right time to do something, there might be a message that you can trust both of those feelings. And if there's a conflict there, then there might be a message about going inwards with the Hermit card to try to connect with your intuition. If that resonates with you, and there, with the heart chakra energy here, there might be a message about following your heart, if that resonates for somebody. So those are just intuitive messages right off the top. The Chariot in relation to your career is a pretty straightforward message. It can be twofold. Like the way that I would interpret it is it's the purpose-driven nature of the Chariot in terms of having a plan. So I think that around towards the beginning of the summer, maybe around July, June, July, you might feel very purpose-driven and like you have a plan for what you want to do for your career. You might not have that plan yet, but the message here is you might have like an intuitive download about like an idea for something, and it's giving you a sense of purpose and like, yes, okay, let's put the steps in place towards achieving a particular goal. Let's see, okay, what's the next step? Let's strategize about where do I eventually want to get to, and what are the steps along the way that I can mark off as milestones along the journey. That could be a potential message for the Chariot. So if you have been feeling like you are like a little bit confused, don't know where to go next, don't know what path you're on, there's a reassurance here with the Chariot that towards the beginning of the summer you are going to be feeling like you have kind of figured out a way forward. And then with the forward momentum message of the Chariot can also be saying that there might be travel involved, and it could be that you might, if you have been feeling confused and like you don't know how to move forward, you might be going on a trip soon, even if it's just like you know, like not that far, like you don't need to be traveling halfway across the world, but you know, if you go maybe drive an hour outside of the city, if you live in a city, you know, and just to some like a park or something, and just sit down in silence, you might have an idea while you're traveling, like something might occur to you, or you might speak with somebody who gives you an idea about how to move forward, or just like plants the seed of something in your brain, and then you can start mulling that over and saying, oh, okay, if I wanted to do this, the first step for that would be X, Y, Z, etc. And that might be a message that resonates for somebody. Otherwise, I see that if you do have like an idea and a plan and a path forward, you know what you want and you know where you want to go. That was my oven timer going off, so that might be just, you know, when things like that happen, could be a confirmation of what I'm saying. But if you do have a solid idea of where you want to go, what goals you want to achieve, like your eventual end goal in terms of career or schooling or whatever you're doing with your time, a creative project, whatever this means for you, you're going to be making a lot of forward progress, forward momentum towards that goal with the Chariot there. And then with the Hermit, and the fact that, you know, where we have the Chariot and then the Hermit, when it comes to a career, can sometimes talk about when we become very focused. It's like hunkering down to work on something, and that it is tied to this sense of purpose of like knowing what you want or what you want to work on, and like really to even it's prioritizing that, perhaps to the exclusion of other things in your life. It's not a negative message, you know, it is upright, and it's just saying like you might recognize towards the end of the summer, maybe towards September, August, September, that you really need to devote a lot of time and energy to a certain step in the process of where you are eventually trying to go with your career or creative project, etc. And this is telling me that you are going to be giving yourself the time, prioritizing some career project, some work project that means a lot to you and gives you a real sense of purpose. And it's just like you're in your little bubble, your little work bubble, and really focusing on that towards the end of the summer. So it's positive messages. The fact that it's two major arcana and we have this third eye and the heart chakra energy here, I would take that as a message from Spirit that whatever you're working on, like whatever goal you're trying to achieve, etc., I think you, first of all, it is important to trust your intuition about it, but if it's giving you this real sense of purpose and like you're happy to devote your time and attention to it, there's a message here to trust that feeling and to go with it. You are being supported by Spirit in doing that. However, there is sometimes a warning with the Hermit card in a career reading that it is also an opportunity to really kind of take a hard look at whether you are doing something that is giving you happiness, is giving you joy, because whatever you're working on will probably require a big investment of time, energy, resources, perhaps money, whatever it is. It's going to require a lot with the Hermit card. And so there's an opportunity to examine whether you do want to prioritize this or not. And that's something that only you can say. You know, so the advice here is not to go forward or to not go forward. It's saying trust your gut feelings about it. If it feels like it's too much, if it feels like it's out of alignment with what you really want, with what your heart really desires, then it's important to trust those feelings and pay attention to that and ignore anything. Like if there's if you have a feeling about it, it's not, maybe it was exciting at first and it's not turning out the way you wanted it to, etc. There's no, the thing that was coming to is there's no shame in switching course. If you need to do that, if that's what works for you, the Hermit is an opportunity to take a hard, honest look at that stuff, because it is connected with soul searching. You know, and asking yourself the question, is this really in alignment with what I really want for myself? Or am I just doing this because either I think it's expected of me, or because I'm on a certain path that I don't feel like I can come off of, or because of the sunk cost fallacy. I've already put so much time and effort towards this path, I don't feel like, you know, I can come off of it, even if it feels like it's out of alignment for me. If you're feeling, I'm not saying that you will feel that way, I'm saying if you feel that way towards the end of the summer, then that is probably a message that you should pay attention to. However, again, I'm not saying that you will feel that way. It could be the other way around, where you are feeling so positive about the direction that you're going in that you are very happy and feeling very much in alignment with your heart's desire and your intuition in terms of whatever you're working on here with the Hermit card. You're saying, I know this is going to be a big investment of time, energy, and resources, and it's in alignment with my divine path. It is what I want to do with my time. I'm happy to make that investment and prioritize whatever this career thing is right now, because I know that it is what I want. And even if it's you know, if it's going to take a lot of energy right now, it is something that I do want to do. And if that is your gut feeling about it, then, you know, fantastic. You can trust that feeling. So it's just basically just a message. Whatever feelings, whatever gut feelings you have about it, trust that feeling. And if you're feeling confused, and like you're not 100% sure how you feel, or there's like a mix of emotions there, there's a message with the Hermit to take it slow. Just take it one day at a time. You don't need to have all the answers right away. And you know, if you're saying like one day you feel super motivated and you're working hard on the thing, and then the next day you're feeling like doubtful about it and you just don't have the energy to it, fine, take that day as a self-care day. Take care of yourself on that day. Maybe tomorrow you'll be feeling motivated again. You know, so it's that energy of just one day at a time, one step in front of the other. And with the Virgo energy there's also a message about self-care, whatever that means for you, and making sure that if you are devoting a lot of time and attention and energy to something related to your career, you're also making time to take care of your body, take care of your 3D physical body, whatever that means for you. And your mental and emotional health as well. So that's what I'm seeing with you. I also, sorry, I'm interrupting myself. I just being drawn to the star on this card as a message of a symbol of hope. And so that might be an additional message for somebody. If your spirit guides show you stars, or you're particularly drawn to the star card in tarot, there might be a message for somebody there about maintaining hope. That even if you have a feeling of, towards the end of the summer, you have a feeling like maybe this isn't the right thing for you, there's a message with the star not to worry about it. You are being divinely protected. So those are the tarot cards. And then we do have, okay, we have an oracle card for your career, and it is abundance. And what's interesting is it's also this same color. It's that purple color there with the grapes. And so that, again, is a message about trusting in your intuition. And it is associated with the element of water, which would be related to this Cancer energy over here, and the sign of Sagittarius. There's also stars on this card, and a moon, which would both be symbols for me that that spirit has your back. There's nothing to worry about. Your spirit guides are with you. And abundance is like saying, you know, there could be a couple of messages here. This could be about obviously, since this is related to your career, this could be a message from Spirit that you are going to be generating a lot of abundance over the summer, financial abundance, and money. That's how I would interpret that. However, the fact that this card is also associated with the element of water, which is very connected with our emotions and our creativity, and this could also be saying you might have, and especially with the, I'm just going to move these down, but especially with the purpose-driven forward momentum of the Chariot card here, and the idea that you're going to you might have like some divine inspiration, some creative idea here that you have the opportunity to really invest in. This might be saying you have an abundance of creative drive, an abundance of a connection to your emotions over the summertime. It's like you're being, if you are a creative type, if you have some sort of creative career or creative project that you're working on, you're going to feel an abundance of inspiration about it. That's and like creative ideas and creative support from Spirit. It's being supported by Spirit with all this third eye energy here. It's like you're getting ideas directly from a spiritual source. And that's why there are a lot of messages where it's important to trust your intuition, and especially with that water connection there. There is an amulet or a necklace on this card, might be saying that, and I see it as maybe a protection charm. That might be another additional message from Spirit that you are being divinely protected, no matter what it is, even if you feel like you need to step off the path towards the end of the summer, or if you feel like you are on the right path and you're feeling very much in alignment. No matter what, Spirit is with you. They are protecting you. They're working behind the scenes to bring in abundance for you, whether that's abundance of creativity, an emotional abundance, or a financial, material abundance. Whatever it is, there's an abundance of stuff. And with the moon connection and the water connection, it could very well be connected to emotional stuff. And also the moon does rule Cancer. So there could be a significant Cancer person who might be coming towards you. And there is, even with the Hermit card, there is a message sometimes about mentorship. So you might have, again, maybe a Cancer or a Virgo might be coming towards you over the summertime, and they might help you in your career in some way, or mentor you, or if you're in school, you're going to taking classes in something, skill building, whatever it is, you might have like a teacher or someone who really takes you under their wing and really kind of really helps you along with your career over the summer. Sagittarius energy as well, I would connect obviously with abundance, with a connection to that Jupiter energy, and also with travel. So there could be a message about traveling for work, or using travel as a means of supporting your creative ideas. If you are a creative type or you're working on a creative project, I think traveling is going to be something that is probably important for that. And then the number 23 does reduce to 5. Which could be, we could interpret that two ways, depending on if we're talking about numerology or astrology. With numerology, that is a number that is associated with change, and I would associate that with abundance in terms of if you're having new ideas, you're generating new and more abundance for yourself, more money, more creative inspiration is flowing through you. You're having like more, you might be going, if you're going through a heart chakra expansion, you might just be feeling a lot more emotions over the summer, and that could be helping to drive your sense of purpose in terms of whatever your career is or whatever you're working on. And then the 5th house in astrology is connected with things like passion, joy, things that we enjoy doing. And so that could be like hobbies and having fun. So that could be another message that you might, even if you don't know what it is yet, this summer you might have a moment of inspiration, and you're being encouraged to go for it if you do. Have about like a possible career change, or creative project that is being spiritually and divinely shared with you, so that it's because it might be part of your divine purpose to do something that really sparks your passion and sparks your inspiration, and you will have a gut feeling about it whatever it is, you'll have gut feelings about it. And again, if you do, and you've maybe been ignoring this idea because it doesn't sound practical or whatever it is, the message here is to go for it. As long as you make a practical plan with this Chariot energy here, you are being supported by Spirit. So, you know, even if it turns out to not be like the thing, it can still put you on a path that is in alignment with your heart's desire. Even if towards the end of the summer you're like kind of pivoting away from it, there might be an adjacent thing, an adjacent opportunity, or something that working on this stuff might help open up to you. And something that I'm being called to share with you is that this is actually not my first YouTube channel. I did try to start a YouTube channel over last summer, and it didn't work out. It's just nobody was interested in my videos, and that's okay. And it's okay because I learned so much. I learned how to film, how to edit, how to upload a video, how YouTube works, how to make a thumbnail. I learned all of that stuff, and then when I was ready to take a chance on my tarot channel, I already had all of that knowledge, you know, so it didn't seem like such a huge obstacle to overcome when I had the idea to start my tarot channel. So it could be something like that, where it's like it's something that's on the right path. However, it's not the final stop, it's not the final destination. And I'm not saying my tarot channel is the final destination for me either, but it is much more in alignment with my divine purpose than the thing that I had initially tried to do. You know, so that's what I'm saying. It's like, it doesn't really matter whether this thing works out exactly the way you want it to, because it is highly likely that it is in alignment with your divine purpose. So that's what I'm seeing with your career. We definitely got much more in depth in that than I had intended to, but that's okay. You know, whatever messages need to come out, that's what's going to come out, and I think your spirit guides had a lot to say. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of your career or your schooling or creative project, whatever you're working on, whatever you're doing with your time or making or using to make money. And with that said, we are going to get into the love and romance portion, and again, we're going to get 2 cards, and you know, and you will know for yourself whether you are in whether you're already in a loving, committed relationship, or if you are single and looking, or if you're single and not looking for a relationship right now. You'll be able to say, Spirit, what can you tell me about Pile 1's summer in love and romance? Spirit, what can you tell me about I'm having some throat chakra stuff. Okay. What can you tell me about Pile 1 summer in terms of love and romance, Spirit? What can you tell me about Pile 1 summer in terms of love and romance, Spirit? I want to say I just had like a loud impression of a phone buzzing, but my phone is not buzzing. I don't know if that's a clear audience that I'm getting from somebody, but there could be a message there that Spirit's trying to get your attention about something, particularly maybe related to love and romance. But I mean, we'll see what comes out in the cards. I just thought I wanted to mention that. Whoa, okay. I'm just saying, because this is another major arcana, and it's a powerful energy, and it's not neither positive nor negative, but we will take a look at that. That is the Death card, which is number 13. It is associated with Scorpio. All right, Spirit, what can you tell me about, and that might be, sorry, something, I'm making a connection here, the change, rebirth energy that is associated with the Death card, also associated with the number 5 in numerology, and it would be something that might very well have to do with your emotions and a possible heart chakra expansion. So it could be that there's some interconnectedness here between things you're working on for your career or your creative projects, etc., whatever, and your romance and love over the summer. You know, of course, because our lives are not, you know, it can be really hard to compartmentalize things. Our lives are not like one's usually not siloed like that, where it's like we have our work life and then we have our romance and then we have everything else. You know, it's like there is a lot of interconnectedness, right? So that is something that I wanted to say about that. Okay, Spirit, what else can you tell me about, okay, and then we have Oh my God, pile one, you're getting all the major arcana today, and it's like these, again, the very similar colors here. This is the Magician, so you have Death and the Magician. Very powerful energies. Powerful energies for your career, powerful energies for love and romance. We'll see what comes out in the final two cards. But this is just, you're going through some major transformations right now. That's something that's coming through, and especially in like your maybe for love and romance, because you might be going through a spiritual ascension and or a heart chakra expansion and or like getting into a line. We have the full rainbow spectrum here on the Magician card, and this, I would say, there's maybe an additional message about full chakra alignment, and becoming more in alignment with yourself, your divine purpose, and there's like a thread of this kind of lilac. And again, these cards are all different colors, but there's a thread of this like lilac kind of color here that's like it's a soft energy of a third eye connection, and it's just a beautiful energy here of you are following your intuition and you are in alignment with your divine path, no matter what happens. If there's a change, if there's a transformation, something shakes your foundation, whatever it is being divinely led, divinely guided, and divinely supported, and you can trust your intuition. That's a big message that's coming through, even before we get into what these cards might mean for your romantic life. So obviously, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it, obviously the most kind of obvious thing that I can think of if we're having in a relationship reading, the Death card followed by the number 1 on the Magician card, the end of something, the beginning of something else. The end of something, focusing on yourself. It could be, and this might be an intuitive thing that you already know. If you are currently in a relationship, you might have a knowledge within you that it is time for that relationship to end. But however, it is not ultimately not a negative thing. It might be painful, of course. But it might be time to recognize that something needs to end here so that something else can begin. So that's just that is just one possible interpretation. I felt compelled to give it because I don't want to shy away from if there's a message that somebody needs to hear, even if it's not like a fun message. There could be somebody watching who knows it's time to end something, and you might have been resisting it for a while. There's a message here again, you're being encouraged to follow your intuition and go for it. With the Magician card, there's very, very good things in your future. There's ultimately nothing to really worry about here. Again, even if there's a recognition that change and possibly ending a relationship can be very painful. So it's okay to kind of give yourself that grace of saying, yes, this is hard and sad and painful. However, it's probably the right thing to do with this Magician card here. So that is a potential message there that I wanted to give. And aside from that, there is a very positive message here. This is a really, really good positive omen for you. We can interpret this multiple ways. Again, if you're currently in a relationship, it could be signifying that the relationship is ending and you're going to be focusing on yourself. It could also be signifying that one phase of the relationship is ending and a new phase of the relationship is beginning. And with this Magician card here, these two energies together, it's almost definitely because you're doing spiritual work and learning how to prioritize yourself, prioritize your needs in a relationship, and like in a positive way. You're probably going through a spiritual ascension, a spiritual expansion, getting your chakras into alignment, making sure that you are speaking your truth, making sure that you are following your intuition, and that can cause changes in our relationships, and that's perfectly, totally normal, and this could be saying that you might be moving from one phase of your relationship into the next phase. Like if you are in a loving, healthy, committed romantic relationship, this could be talking about moving the commitment up a notch, you know. There could be a proposal or something in the future, you know. I don't want to get anybody too excited if that's not in the cards for everybody, but this is just saying, because you're doing positive work on yourself, this is shifting things in your relationships. That's a way that I would interpret these two cards being together if you're currently in a romantic relationship, and it is ultimately a very positive message. And then if you are single and you're looking for a relationship, there is a very, like, the message that I just gave about doing soul work, doing spiritual work on yourself, manifestation work in particular with the Magician energy here, is shifting things in your love life. That applies regardless. That applies if you're in a relationship, if you're not in a relationship, if you're looking for romance, if you're not looking for romance. It doesn't matter. That's the basic core message here. There could be additional messages. If you are looking for a relationship, the Magician can say, first of all, this could be confirmation you're manifesting a soulmate, and you know, with your future spouse, if you want to get married, whatever you want out of a relationship, this is strong manifestation energy. You are shifting things in terms of your approach to relationships and like spiritual energies. Does that make sense? That's what's coming through. Things are changing. Things are shifting for you because of the spiritual work that you are doing, including especially manifestation. I want to emphasize that because it is the Magician. You have the power to have whatever kind of love or relationship you want, and you deserve that. And you know you deserve that because the Magician is someone who is very much in their own power. And that's beautiful. And very much in alignment, because this is the rainbow color of all the 7 chakras. We have all of the different suits of the tarot here. It's like using everything at your disposal to make sure that you are bringing in exactly what you want and what you deserve. And again, that's a beautiful energy for if you are looking for a romantic relationship. There is a message with the Magician about a soulmate, a soul level connection, and it could be that it is you are bringing it in, you are shifting whatever path you might have been on in terms of love and romance, because you're focusing on yourself and prioritizing yourself right now. You are shifting timelines, and that is a very powerful energy. So that is something that I'm seeing there. And then if you're not currently looking for a romantic relationship, that's okay. That could absolutely be a message. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt myself because this is something that's just, I wasn't going to mention it, and then I'm like, it just keeps happening. I've seen every angel number come up on the clock since I started filming. I've seen 1111, 1122, 1133, and 1144. So your spirit, that's how my spirit guides communicate. I might be seeing those numbers regardless of whether I'm filming or not, but your spirit guides in particular, because I'm seeing them, I'm being compelled to look at the clock specifically at those times. Your spirit guides might be sending you angel numbers as a message that you are on the right track, that you know that your manifestation work is working, that you're divinely protected. Whatever numbers you're seeing, you can even it's easy, just Google like angel number 111 or whatever it is that you're seeing, and get the message from spirit that way. But it's like, I'm just saying that because it's happened 4 times in this reading so far. And so I wanted also to bring that, like, you have 4 major arcana here. This is going to be a time of real transformation over the summer for you in a very positive way. There's a lot of forward momentum in your career, your study, or whatever. There's something big here, and there's a lot of change, positive, beautiful change happening for you in love and relationships. And again, if you're not currently looking for a romantic relationship, this is just a sign that there are other relationships, other connections in your life. Again, you're shifting energies by doing this Magician work, and whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, if it's stuff in your career, if it's money, if it's whatever it is, your dream life, you want to move somewhere, you want to travel, whatever it is, you are in the right energy. You are changing and shifting things and going through this transformative process, this rebirthing process. and it is going to bring you lots of positive things, entering a new phase in your life. And this could even be saying, if right now you're not looking for a romantic relationship, you might be assuming that you do want to have a romantic relationship. Some people are aromantic, and that's okay. But you know, if you are eventually going to be looking for a romantic relationship, this could even be saying you are entering a phase in your life where that is going to be something that you are looking for. So I wanted to say that. I apologize for the construction noise outside. I always try to film when they're not working, but then usually they do start working. Anyway, I'm sorry about the noise. Oh my God, pile one. And I haven't looked at these oracle cards, you know. I don't know. Obviously, with the tarot, I pull them on camera. I don't know what's going to come out, but it's just, this is very much confirming the messages of these cards. It's the 17 is the crow spirit, co-create with spirit. That is something you're doing over the summer. Regardless of your relationship status or your potential relationship status, you are co-creating with spirit. That is a big magician energy. There's transformative things happening. And what is interesting, as I was drawn to this star on the Hermit card, even though it's not the star card, I was drawn to the star there as a symbol and a message of hope. The number 17 is the number of the star card in the tarot, and that would be an additional message. And seeing all these numbers on the clock, the angel numbers, that your spirit guides might communicate with you through numbers, and particularly through the star card. If you see that card a lot in tarot readings, or if you're pulling tarot for yourself, that could be a symbol from your spirit guides that you are on the right path, you are in alignment, you're doing great, keep going. Your spirit guides really want to co-create with you. This could also be a message that that your spirit guides might appear as birds, blackbirds in particular, ravens and crows, I know are symbols of a spiritual messenger. So if you see a lot of ravens or crows or birds or blackbirds or whatever it is, that could also be a symbol from spirit that they're with you, you're on the right path, you're doing everything you need to be doing, and just like a kudos, and there is a congratulatory energy here from your spirit guides. You're doing a great job. Whatever you're working on, like if you're doing spiritual work, if you're doing manifestations, you're like working on making a shift, making a change, changing the way you approach relationships, stepping into your power in relationships. This magician card is connected with Mercury, which is all about communication, using your throat chakra to communicate healthily with the universe, your spirit guides, and your potential future partners or the partner that you are currently with. It's just a beautiful energy here. You're fully supported by spirit, and they might be sending you signs and symbols, particularly through the use of angel numbers, if that resonates for you, and or imagery related to stars or the star card in tarot might also be very significant. So, oh, and birds. So those are just some of the examples that I'm seeing there. And this is just like a gorgeous reading so far, pile one. So the next part, we are going to get some advice from Spirit. Although honestly, it sounds like the advice so far is you're doing a great job and just stay on the path. But we'll see what else Spirit has to say. So, Spirit, what advice do you have for pile one over the summer? Spirit, what advice do you have for pile one over the summer? Spirit, what advice do you have for pile one this summer? Spirit, what advice do you have for pile one? Whoop. Okay. Okay, we have the King of Swords. Sorry, I'm going to try and center that. Also, the court cards in this deck, they're a little bit, this deck's a little bit more intuitive than some of the other decks that I have. You know, they don't have the words on it, and but that's the King of Swords. Okay, and what other advice do you have for pile one? What other advice? Oh, I forgot to mention the zodiac sign we have here is Scorpio. Again, a symbol of change, and then this is the King of Swords associated with air, which is interesting because we have all the... Oh, we don't have fire. That's true. We don't have fire here, but yeah, we have two water signs with Cancer and Scorpio. We have this element of water here. Oh, we do have fire. We have the Sagittarius on this card, and then Virgo, and then the element of air, if that resonates for somebody. So what advice do you have for pile 1, Spirit? What advice do you have for pile 1, Spirit? What advice do you have for pile 1 over the summer, Spirit? What advice do you have for pile 1 over the summer? It might be taking a while to come out because, again, you seem to be very much in tune with your intuition, advice from your spirit guides, doing spiritual work. This Magician card is like very much being in tune with your spirituality, and you are already co-creating with spirit, whether you would identify that or not. Your spirit guides are really ready to work with you, and I think it's because you've already been, like, I'm just getting that sense that you are already working with spirit. You're working hard because there's all this major arcana energy here. So, okay, they want to give me half the deck. Okay. All right, Spirit, let's get one more card for pile 1, please. One more card. Some advice for pile 1 for the summertime. Oop, okay, it flew out. Okay, yeah, very positive message here. We have the 3 of Wands. Let me fix that up. Okay. So, oh, and the 3 of Wands, we have a good mix of zodiac signs. 3 of Wands associated with Aries and the Sun. I do like this deck because it includes the associated signs and elements on it. I think that's really cool. But yes, so we do have the King of Swords and then the 3 of Wands. And this is general advice from Spirit. So they could be saying there's this message when it comes to your career about following your heart and following your intuition. And then there's what I'm getting at is the sense that you've already done a lot of the groundwork here in terms of the death and the Magician here. You're already co-creating with Spirit, and that is something that you are going to continue to do over the summer. There's a message with the King of Swords also to use your head. And it could be that that's why we're getting all this aligned energy with the Magician here of like being very aligned and seeing things clearly. Like this is like your perception is on point. You can trust the things that you're seeing, and it's an energy of clear communication. That was something that I was picking up on of clearly communicating with the universe. I also, something that occurred to me with this energy was maybe scripting might be something that you're doing. It might be something that might be helpful for you in terms of even figuring out what you want. So just take that however it resonates. I'm interrupting myself. But you're, yes, learning like healthy communication and really exercising your throat chakra, I think is very important. And then there is a kind of a wheel on this card, and the way that I would interpret that is what I was saying about shifting energies. Things are shifting, and you might be like shifting timelines, to put it that way, if that resonates for you, because of the spiritual work that you're doing. And again, there's a message of the King of Swords that you can really trust yourself. You can trust your judgment. And it's because you're seeing things clearly. You are relying on your intuition when that is helpful for you. Relying on your following your heart when that is helpful for you. And I think this might also be related to interpersonal relationships, especially with the Magician here, and things shifting for you. That you can trust yourself. Because your judgment, your perception is very sharp. It's going to be very sharp over the summer. And there might be, with this Hermit energy and the Magician energy, there might be a message about the kind of like independent nature of the King of Swords. King of Swords definitely does get along with people because they know how to communicate, right? But there might be a message about spending a little bit more time alone. Might be something that you might be doing over the summer, if that resonates for you. But it's like it is an independent energy in the sense of being self-reliant. And it's self-reliant because you know you can trust yourself, because you are being spiritually supported, you are being spiritually guided, and you have faith that the things that are meant for you are going to come into your life precisely when they are meant to. And that is a message of the 3 of Wands, of knowing that your blessings are going to come in when they're meant to. And it's a beautiful energy, and it's this can also say that by the end of the summer, you might be already seeing things that you're trying to manifest coming into fruition. You know, we didn't get a ton of information about a time frame here with these cards. It's just over the summer. This is just things are shifting. You're stepping more into your power. You might meet a soulmate. There might be something with the Magician that you might have manifested, and it might come in over the summer. That's a potential message here. It might not happen over the summer. It might happen maybe towards the end of the summer, and you might just be starting to see that towards the end of the summer with the Three of Swords. The Three of Wands there. It's like when our rewards start to come in, and or when we have extreme faith in divine timing, that the things that we have put into place, put into motion, are going to come towards us. The things that we deserve, things that are in alignment, are going to come towards us. So it's a beautiful energy and a confirmation there. Again, of this, like if you're doing manifestation work, keep going, because it is coming. Things are shifting, and there might be a message here. If you were resonating with what I was saying about the Hermit card, about maybe feeling confused or maybe not knowing whether whatever is happening with the Chariot, you might have like a period of time, maybe towards the end of the summer, where you're not 100% sure, or there might be other people involved who may be giving you a bad vibe or like a weird feeling about them. And the King of Swords energy might be saying, again, pay attention. Pay attention to red flags, pay attention to the things that you're seeing and hearing, and your perceptive abilities and your intuition. When it comes to that, the King of Swords is not easily fooled. So it's like it's not necessarily a warning that there's something's going to go wrong or something. It is a message that you can really trust your judgment over the summer, because it's a mixture of intuitive knowing and very sharp thinking, clear thinking, and using your eyes and ears and the things that you know through experience. So there's a big trust yourself energy, and also your rewards, your divine blessings are coming in over the summer, which is beautiful. I also want to point out we do have Aries here, and I know that personally for me, it is my Jupiter return. So that might be something that resonates for somebody, because I have Aries in Jupiter, or Jupiter in Aries, however you say that. So that might resonate for somebody watching. You might want to look up when your Jupiter return is. But if that doesn't, don't worry about it. If that doesn't apply to you, if that's not for you, don't worry about it. There might also be somebody who is either an air sign or an Aries coming towards you. So again, just take that however it resonates. And then we have your dreams need a practical plan with the full moon in Taurus. This is, for me, this is related mostly to the career, even though this is intended as general advice. There is a practicality to the King of Swords. So there could be saying, pay attention to, if this Hermit, if it doesn't seem like the right thing to do, it's your intuition, gut feelings telling you that, but it could also be your logical brain saying like, it's not the right thing. Like, it could be something that's coming to mind is the book, The Gift of Fear, about how our intuition can help us even when we don't know, like there's no 3D physical world reason to be feeling a certain way. It's like sometimes we just know things, and it can be because we're perceiving things about other people that are not conscious. It's not on a conscious level. But it can be. That's why we get gut feelings. We get like early warning signs about things, but it can be based on like our perception through our senses rather than just strictly intuition. So I wanted to say that just kind of jumped into my head. There's a connection between the green and pink on this card, which I would associate with the heart chakra. The green and pink on this card, which I was associating that with a heart chakra expansion. It is the full moon. There's lots of emotional energy here with all this water. and especially with the work you're doing around love and relationships, there's an highly emotionally charged energy here, and there's also a practicality here with the Chariot and the King of Swords here. And if this is related to following your heart's desire in terms of a career path that you might even be telling yourself right now that you can't pursue for one reason or another, your spirit guides are telling you to go for it. As long as you have a plan in place. That's the Chariot, King of Swords, definitely a message about taking it one step at a time, and just instead of feeling overwhelmed about getting from point A to point Z, just how do I get, from point A to point B? And are there like sub-steps, like subsection AA, subsection AB? Like just break it down to whatever small steps need to happen first, and do those things. And that is what is going to keep you in alignment and keep you on the path towards your goals. Remember, you are being very spiritually guided, spiritually supported right now. You might be, again, seeing angel numbers. I saw a lot of them when I was doing your reading. And you are doing well. You are on the right path. This is a beautiful message for the summer. There's no major red flags. There's no major warnings here. It's like things are taking off for you. There's a lot of energy here. Again, I want to point out, like, the first 4 cards here are all major arcana, and it's major energy. So I think that no matter what happens, there are big changes happening over the summer, and it's largely, in the long term, going to be very positive for you, pile 1. So with that said, I am going to end your reading here because it's very long, but I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below, let me know how this reading resonated for you. And if you like my channel and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe. I also have a Patreon where I post extended readings and bonus videos. And with that said, thank you again for watching Pile 1, and I do hope to see you in my next reading. Hello Pile 2, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the pink dragonfly, this is going to be your reading for today about summer predictions. And this is going to include a portion about your career, and that could be career, school, anything you're doing with your time, anything you're doing to make money, including any creative projects you might be working on. Then we're going to move into love and romance and see what's in the cards for you, and that's, regardless of your relationship status, or if you're looking for a relationship, there might still be important messages there. And then we're just going to get some advice for your spirit guides about, anything going on over the summer. So I also want to apologize if you can hear my cat. He's not allowed in here while I'm filming, and he's a little bit upset, so I'm sorry about that. And with that said, let's get into it. What can you tell me about Pile 2's career over the summer, Spirit? What can you tell me about Pile 2's career? Whoa, okay, that's way too many cards. And I will say, when I was shuffling in between the piles, half the deck kept flipping over, so I think your spirit guides have a lot to say. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me about... Oh, okay. So, we have the King of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So that's it. Right off the bat, a positive message there. We have some fire energy, and then we have, with the Wheel of Fortune, we have Jupiter there, which is, again, a positive message about good luck. So if we're talking about your career, your financial situation, anything you're doing with your time, anything you're doing to make money, a creative project, etc., with the Wheel of Fortune here, that is a positive omen for whatever you're working on. And there is an air of authority and inspiration here with the King of Wands there. And I want to point out the kings in this deck have... they're probably supposed to be sitting on thrones, but they have like a wheel under them, and so it's almost like a repeated message of luck, good fortune, and keeping the wheels moving, keeping things spinning. So, and I want to say I'm getting an intuitive message with the King of Wands about July in particular being significant, and which makes sense because it's kind of in the middle of the summer, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune, which I would connect with more maybe towards the end of the summer, or more of like an overall energy because it is being tied into this King of Wands here. And I will say what's interesting is, what I like about this deck is they do include the different elements, the zodiac signs. You know, I just realized it's a little dark in here. Sorry, pile 2. Hopefully the lighting is a little bit better now. But anyway, so with the King of Wands, what's interesting in this deck is I do like that they include like the zodiac signs, the different planets that each card is associated with. What's interesting is that even though the suit of Wands is connected with fire, the King of Wands in particular is being associated with air here. So and the message of the King of Wands as it relates to a career reading can be about using your voice, using your throat, communicating. There's a message about needing to be assertive, needing to take on a leadership position, or just like you're being urged right now. Now is a very auspicious time. It's a good time to assert yourself and to there's a phrase I want to use that I think might make some people uncomfortable, but it's like marketing yourself, playing to your strengths and not shying away from telling other people what your strengths are, and it's like even it's from an authentic way, I mean, I think that you would have an idea of the things that you're good at, the things that come naturally to you, the things that you enjoy doing, and it's okay to talk about those things. It's not bragging or boasting if you're telling the truth, right? So there's a message about that, about like kind of stepping up and asserting yourself, being bold, taking on more of a leadership role if that is something that resonates for you. And the reason why there's a mind message that, and you're being really urged to do that right now, is because it's a good time. This is with the message of the Wheel of Fortune is, a very positive message about good luck and about this being the right time to do something. Like things are in alignment right now for you to maybe put yourself more in the spotlight than you have been in the past, even if it makes you uncomfortable. Like the King of Wands might be a message that you like, this is a safe time for you to step a little bit further out of your comfort zone in terms of your career, and specifically in terms of how you relate to other people. And that's even if you're doing something that doesn't necessarily involve working with other people. Like for example, when I make my tarot videos, I'm the only person pulling the cards. I'm the only person reading them. I'm the person filming. I'm doing the editing, etc., etc. So right now it's a one-woman show, but it is also something social, because when I put my videos out, I'm interacting with the community. I'm interacting with you guys. I read all my comments. I respond to the comments. I really enjoy your feedback, and I take that and I try to incorporate that into future videos. And then there's an element of promotion to it. And that's just, that's kind of like the nature of the beast, where, I do have an Instagram account, I have a Patreon account, etc., etc. And I do, I try not to be obnoxious about it, but there is an element of that, it's like I want people to see my videos, and because there might be important messages in them for somebody who has not seen them yet. You know what I mean? So, it's okay to do that. What you're being told with these cards here is that it's okay to do that. And there's nothing to feel bad about. And in addition to that, over the summertime is an excellent time to start promoting yourself more. And that's like whatever you're working on. And including like if you're in school, and you might be the type of person, and I'm like this, where I prefer to I like sitting in the back of the class. I'll quietly take notes, and the only time I really usually raise my hand is if nobody is answering the question and I feel bad for the teacher, and then I might, raise my hand and take a stab at it. But I'm usually not like the first person giving the answer or etc., just because that's not really my learning style. But what you're being asked to do is to do that a little bit more. Take a little bit more of a chance when it comes to being seen a little bit more in your job, your career, your creative project, whatever it is. The King of Wands is a very social energy. And there might be a message about networking, and there might be a message about traveling as well, if those things resonate for you. And what you're being, like if you had those things on your mind, if you've been thinking about them, and it's been like, oh, I don't know if it's the right time, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, etc., etc. With the Wheel of Fortune here, you are being urged to go ahead with that, because this is a what's the phrase I want? It's a fortunate time. There's a specific word and it's not coming to me, but basically this is the right time. There's no reason not to go for it, because you're being urged to go for it because things are in alignment right now. It's like what I'm getting the sense of with this King of Wands here. Again, it's an inspired energy because of the connection to Wands here. I'm getting the sense that for the majority of you watching, you feel invested in whatever you're working on. You know the path that you're on right now, or more throat chakra stuff, or you have an idea of where you want to go. And it could be like, even like a pie in the sky dream about something that you want for your future. What I'm hearing is the pathway right now is clear. It's a good time to take a chance. It's a good time to step out there, promote yourself more, play to your strengths, and again, like if you're somebody who is like shy about doing that, or feels even like I used to feel really guilty, about doing that kind of thing, until I did some self-esteem work. The King of Wands has really good self-esteem, like really solid, healthy self-esteem. And not in an arrogant way, but just like the King of Wands knows what they're good at, and is like not afraid to talk about that stuff and to say like, oh, I can do that. Or do you want me to work on this? Or I have an idea for a new project. Can you help me find funding for it? Or, whatever it is, the King of Wands is using their voice to have some sort of forward momentum here when it's related to career. And again, this is an abundant time. This is the right time. With that Jupiter energy connected with this card, it's like this is a fortunate time to go ahead with however this King of Wands energy is resonating for you. Because I am getting the sense that for the majority of you, you have an idea, or you know kind of the next step of where you want to get to in your career or your schooling or whatever it is. And again, like you're being urged to maybe take a step outside your comfort zone, promote yourself a little bit more, and take a chance on something. So that's what I'm seeing with those cards there. Ooh, okay. And then for your Oracle card, we have Transition with the cauliflower. I am going to just move these down a little bit. Like I always put the cards out and then I realize that they're not where I want them to be, but that's okay. So anyway, we have Transition with the cauliflower. It is associated with the element of earth and the sign of Cancer. There is a moon on the card and a candle, and it is the number 11. And 11 is a master number. That reduces to 2, which is the number associated with partnerships. So, the other thing I forgot to say, that reminds me, the other thing I forgot to say is with this King of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune, this could also be saying you might have somebody coming towards you who is going to help you with a career or project, something you're working on, however that resonates for you. And they might be a fire sign with the King of Wands there. So I just wanted to say that because I forgot. And then we do have this partnership energy of the 11, which reduces to 2, and this is Transition, and I just saw 55 on the clock, 5 a number associated with change in numerology, and then with the 11 there, that could also be a sign that the 10th or the 11th of the month, this is the June, July, August, whatever month we're talking about, might be significant for you. We also have Cancer energy, which is June, July. Late June through early July. So particularly July 11th might be an important date for you. You might also be a life path 11, or you might have somebody coming towards you who is a life path 11 who might help you go through some sort of transition, which is with this energy here, especially the Wheel of Fortune, is going to be a positive transition. This is something that you want, and it might be something that you don't even realize how badly you want it until you start to go after it and realize that it is something that is possible for you. That might be something that resonates for somebody. With the moon energy there, I would take that as confirmation that your spirit guides, your angels are working behind the scenes to clear your path of any obstacles with this Wheel of Fortune here. Like this is, you're getting a lot of signs that this is the right time to do something. And the numbers 10 and 11, so like ones and zeros, might also be messages that you receive from spirit that that you're on the right path, that it's the right time to go for something. You know, the number 1 is definitely associated with like new beginnings, so and new cycles. So that would, and in transition, you're transitioning from something that is closing out the end of a cycle and starting a new cycle. So, and that's the Wheel of Fortune. Wheel never stops spinning. It keeps. We're constantly going through cycles and transitions. So this is a positive message here. There is a candle there. So, and with the fire energy associated with the King of Wands, your spirit guides might also be encouraging you to work with flame and particularly candles. If you do spells using candles, that might be an idea. Or it could even just be saying if you're working on something and you have like a particular scent that you really enjoy, even lighting a scented candle that kind of puts you in the zone, you know, might be something that is resonating for somebody, and that might be something that you're being encouraged to do over the summer, to really work with candles or flame or doing fire magic, if that resonates for you. The other thing is, because this is associated with the element of earth, there might be a message about grounding. And that might be something that, especially with this inspired King of Wands taking action kind of energy, and it is like things are going well for you over the summer. This is a very lucky, auspicious message here with this Wheel of Fortune. The wheel's going to start turning in your favor, and I think there might be a message about being surprised at how easy it is once you start embracing this King of Wands energy and really kind of promoting yourself, putting yourself out there, making connections, etc. So there might be, in order to counterbalance that exciting energy, there might be a message also about grounding with that earth energy there, if that resonates for somebody. And so that's definitely a lot of positive messages here in terms of your career, your schooling, or whatever we're talking about here. And I also want to apologize if I'm talking really fast. I just had a cup of coffee and I'm excited. I'm excited about the messages that I'm seeing here. I will say that I'm having some throat chakra stuff, and so I think that it is like an important message that this King of Wands is associated with the element of air, which is, even though it's wands, you know, I would usually associate this with fire. You know, there can be a message here about using your voice. And speaking up for yourself and promoting yourself, whatever that means, you know, and not in a way that is disingenuous, but just if you know what your strengths are, it's okay to be honest about that. There's nothing to be like to feel guilty about, you know, about promoting yourself, you know, over somebody else. It's like you have just as much a right to the things that you want out of your career or your schooling or your creative project, whatever you're working on, as anybody else. You're just as worthy of this abundance that is associated with the Wheel of Fortune. So I don't know if somebody needed to hear that, but I wanted to say it. Okay. So, and with that said, we are going to move into the relationships part of the reading. All right, Spirit, what can you tell me about Pile 2's love and romance over the summer? What can you tell me about Pile 2's love and romance over the summer, Spirit? What can you tell me? Whoa. Okay, they came out together. Okay, interesting. So we have the 5 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles. And what's interesting is these are both associated with Saturn. We have Leo and we have Taurus. And I believe we also have Leo and Taurus on the Wheel of Fortune, even they're constellations. But I think they are associated with the Wheel of Fortune because they're both fixed signs. So there's lots of like fixed energy here. And there is like, how do I want to put this? There's an energy of work associated with the with the Saturn energy there. It's not necessarily a negative message, but there is like you're working on stuff in terms of love and relationships over the summer. So, and the fact that we have the 5 of Wands and the 7 of Pentacles together, it's kind of giving me a message. And I'm just going to be honest. It's a message about working really hard and maybe needing to compete for somebody's attention and then realizing that it might not be worth it. if that resonates for somebody. If that is an energy that somebody has been in recently, that might be a message for somebody watching. And again, I don't want to... like, I love when, when beautiful positive cards come out and it's a beautiful positive message. Sometimes, sometimes that's not the message that Spirit has for us, and they're trying to kind of help us make shifts and changes that we might know are necessary. And with all this fixed energy here, and especially with the Saturn energy, there is a message that somebody watching might need to hear about being a little bit stubborn. This could be a message from your spirit guides saying, like, you might realize already that whatever you're putting your time and energy into might not be worth it, or might not be the right thing for you. And it's like you might be kind of stubbornly continuing to go at it. And with the message of the Seven of Pentacles here is like, over this, if you keep sticking to that path over the summer, if you keep trying to work towards something that it might not be the right thing for you, if you keep giving your attention and energy to somebody who's not giving that back to you, like, you're just going to stay in like a holding pattern. You're not going to see forward progress. That's the message that's coming out in the cards. There's a lot of forward momentum and forward progress in terms of career, in terms of relationships. This is not a great energy. If I'm being fully, totally honest, this is an energy pouring your time and attention into something, and it's just not, you're not getting anything out of it. And so I don't know if that's a message somebody needs to hear. If you know you're already kind of in that energy, if you've been feeling like, well, my heart wants this and I want to keep going after this person, there's a message here about maybe needing to reevaluate that, if that resonates for somebody watching. And again, if I'm being honest, like, this is the energy of chasing, which is not necessarily a healthy energy to be in terms of love and relationships. And I'm not saying that in like a judgmental way, because I've totally been in this energy before. And it's I'm also very stubborn. I am a Taurus sun. I do, like, when I have my heart set on something, it takes a lot for me to shift my focus. But it's like, if you're not currently in a relationship and you have been pursuing somebody or trying to get them to notice you, or like the Five of Wands energy of competition, of like competing for somebody's time or attention. If you're not currently in a relationship, but if you have been pursuing somebody who's just doesn't seem that interested, or they have a lot of other romantic offers, and you're just trying to prove yourself that you can stand out above the rest, so to speak. There's a message here that you shouldn't have to work so hard to get somebody's attention. And in combination with the Seven of Pentacles, there's an opportunity here for you to reevaluate where you're putting your time and energy. It might be time to start refocusing on yourself. And if you resonate with what I was saying about this Five of Wands, you might be like fixated on somebody, but they're not giving you back what you're putting into the connection. And it's an opportunity to reevaluate and to reinvest your time, energy, and resources into yourself. There might be some self-esteem work that might be really helpful for you, with the connection to Leo there of, what do you want out of a relationship? It's like, what do you deserve? Do you deserve to have a relationship where you are somebody's top priority? I'm going to say yes, you do deserve that. And so it's maybe time to like re-examine your beliefs when it comes to relationships and what you're putting your time and energy towards. And if if you are already currently in a romantic relationship and you've been feeling like your partner might be pulling away a little bit, or like they're not making as much time for you, or, if that is something that resonates for you, it could be, again, a message to reevaluate your relationship if that resonates for you. This can also be, the Five of Wands doesn't need to be a negative message. So there could also be a positive message here. And particularly if you are currently in a romantic relationship, this is, again, it's a message about working together. If what I was saying does not resonate for you, is a message about working together in terms of the Five of Wands can be a message about healthy competition, and in terms of that, it could be saying that you and your partner have like a playfully competitive relationship where there's like play fighting or play teasing, but there could be a warning that could easily turn into a real argument, but that could be like an element of your relationship that is very passionate. That could be something that creates a lot of passion, and this could be saying like you might be two people who have a lot of chemistry, but you might disagree on some things and like butt heads a lot, but with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like this can be a message about working together to build the relationship that you want. And there's a nurturing energy to the Seven of Pentacles. So we've planted these flowers here, and we're going to do whatever it takes to see the kind of garden that we want. Even if these flowers are not yet blooming the way we want them to, there is potential here with the Seven of Pentacles. It's not all doom and gloom here, you know. There could be a message about working together with your partner to work through any differences that you might have, and to make sure that you're both on the same page in terms of what you want out of the relationship. And you know, and again, this can be like a passionate energy with the Five of Wands here, of like you know, like a kind of a playful sense of humor, playful teasing, you know, competing with each other in like competitive sports or whatever. If that is something that you enjoy, that makes you feel good, then there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But there is a message of needing to work with your partner to make sure that both of you are getting what you need out of the relationship and investing in equal parts into seeing the kind of relationship that you want to have. So, and honestly, if none of those messages are resonating for you, there could also be just a general again, just a general message here that and especially if you've been trying to manifest, like if you're single and you've been trying to manifest a connection, if you're having this Seven of Pentacles feeling of like, I've been doing all this work, you know, and there might be a feeling of frustration or losing faith in the process of manifesting. If you feel like you've been doing all this work and you still don't have the relationship that you want, and you're like thinking, is this ever going to happen for me? Is it ever going to work out? And there might be a message with this Five of Wands again about needing to evaluate how you speak to yourself and how you see yourself in terms of the quote-unquote competition. So there could be a need to do self-esteem exercises, particularly as it relates to relationships, and saying like, am I comparing myself to other people? Am I saying like, oh, these people have such an amazing relationship and that's what I want and I'm never going to have that? Or comparing yourself to one person and saying, oh, well, they're so gorgeous and charismatic and kind and generous, and I don't have those qualities, so why would anybody be interested in me? It's like there could be something to that, and it's like you're being asked to reevaluate those self-limiting beliefs, self-limiting statements, and something that might be helpful is like mirror affirmations or something like that to help boost your self-esteem, or whatever self-esteem exercises work for you, so that you're not putting yourself down or like almost rejecting yourself on behalf of a potential partner, you know, because that could be standing in the way of a manifestation you might be working on. But there could also be a message with the Seven of Pentacles here that, you know, the things that you're putting your time and energy and investment in are growing, but it could just be in a way that you can't see the progress yet. You might not be able to, because the flowers haven't bloomed yet, but they're still there. They're still growing. You know, it's just, it just might be, I need to have a little bit more faith, a little bit more patience, give it a little bit more time, and maybe do a little bit more self-esteem work if that is something that resonates for you. But we'll see what comes out in the... Okay, so we have the Flamingo Spirit, which is number 26. It says, embrace the in-between. And what this tells me is you are probably going in a transitional phase in terms of love and relationships. And we do have transition here. So you could be going through like major changes over the summer in terms of both your career, which this is moving in a very positive direction, and in terms of love and relationships. And this is an opportunity to do some work here in how you approach love and relationships. And if you're already in a romantic relationship, there might be messages about working on the relationship with your partner. This is an energy of, I don't have what I want yet. You know, it's not, and it could even be like losing faith in the process. You know, we don't yet have the relationship that we're looking for, but there's a message to embrace the in-between. So embrace this transitional process between where we were before and our hopeful eventual beautiful relationship in the future. Whatever we want, whatever we desire, what we're trying to manifest, so what we're putting our time and energy into, we're kind of in the middle phase right now, and that's okay, because you're exactly where you're supposed to be. With the message of this card, you are where you're supposed to be, and with this fixed kind of Saturnine energy here, there's an opportunity to work on stuff here, and Spirit is asking you to take that opportunity and run with it. And there's a message with the flamingo spirit about balance, because flamingos stand on one leg. There might be a need to work on balance, work-life balance, and especially if your career is taking off, there might be, you know, a message about balancing your career and self-care activities, your career and your relationship. This Five of Wands could even be talking about your energy if you feel like other people, or if you feel like your partner, if you've been neglecting your partner a little bit because you've been so focused on your career, there could be a message here too that your partner might be feeling like they need to compete for your attention, and you know, and feeling like, well, why am I, you know, this could be some of their energy coming through here, and there's a message to work through that. You're going to work through it with your partner with the Seven of Pentacles. Like, there's not really anything to worry about, but there's growth and evolution that is taking place here in the in-between. And it is about working on balance. And there's also a message with this card about, we can't skip this process. This is an essential part of the process. And so it's important to stay present in this energy, even if it's uncomfortable. Even if there's some uncomfortable realization that needs to happen, if you've been feeling like, you know, you have been being stubborn about something, even though Spirit's trying to draw your attention to, or you have gut feelings that it might not be the right thing for you, you know, there's a message about staying in that energy and learning the lessons here, and really kind of saying, okay, if I'm not where I want to be just yet, that's okay, because this is still an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity for learning. It's an opportunity to nurture the things that I do want. And there's with the Seven of Pentacles message about patience, and needing to have patience. And if this is an opportunity to work on balance, it's important to take that opportunity, because when you do that and you practice those things and you practice having faith, etc., when you do eventually get to the place where you want to be, it's going to be because you've done this work, because you've worked on these things. It's going to create a situation where you can have exactly the type of relationship that you want to have, because you are balanced, because you are present, because you've invested in working through anything that needed to be worked through here in these two cards. Whatever is resonating for you, however that resonates for you. So definitely an important message with the flamingo spirit there. And I am just going to move these over. Again, I can never get the spacing right, and that's okay. Okay. All right, so we're going to get some general advice from Spirit for the summertime here. It does sound like there's change happening. There's lots of change happening here for you. Oh, the other thing I forgot to say was the number 26 does reduce to 8, which is associated with financial and material abundance and hard work with the Saturn energy here. So could be a message related to earning more money in terms of your career and your finances, and a message with the 8 is like hard work, and that these two Saturn energies here, and the Seven of Pentacles in particular, there's work to be done here is the message of that. And then obviously the number 5 associated with change. We're making changes of some kind, or changes needed of some kind, and then the 7 of spirituality, associated with spirituality, it's saying like, if you're losing faith in the process, there's a message here to keep going, because you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now, even if that's frustrating to hear. You will eventually get to where you want to be, because you're doing the work here and embracing this transitional time. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Okay, so let's get some advice from your spirit guides. All right, what advice do you have? Okay, right off the bat. Okay, we have the Two of Swords here, which is associated with Libra and the moon. So you might have a Libra moon if that resonates, otherwise don't worry about it. What other advice do you have for pile? Oh. Okay, and we do have the Four of Wands. So ultimately a positive message. And this kind of reiterates for me what I was saying about doing the work is going to lead you exactly to what you want. With the message of the Two of Swords, there's a message to that, particularly as it relates to relationships with this Libra energy. Like, I think this Two of Swords is mostly about your love and romance cards here. The Two of Swords is an opportunity to take a step back emotionally, and to reconsider. It's to reconsider our path. And even with this transition energy here, there might be a message here again about, like that related to your career, about taking a step back, especially if things are taking off really quickly and you're going through some sort of transition. It's okay to kind of put a pause on it for a little bit if you need to consider your options. It's okay to do that. There's no rush. There's no need to rush into anything. Even though this is a fortunate time for you, this is like the right time to step forward in your career. If you need to take some time to think about where you want to go next, the Two of Swords is urging you to do that. There's nothing to worry about. We also have the Four of Wands here, which is a beautiful positive message. But yes, so I do think it is likely related more to love and romance. This is an opportunity to reevaluate. It's an opportunity to think about what you want and deserve out of a relationship. And it's like there's a message like you are exactly where you're supposed to be right now, even if you don't feel like you're moving forward. There's an energy of the moon of there are spiritual things at play here, and you might not be able to see them right now, but it doesn't mean that things aren't changing. It doesn't mean that energies aren't shifting. It just means that you might not be able to see what's happening right now, and that's okay. You know, the Two of Swords, usually in most decks, the Two of Swords, the person on the card has a blindfold on and is not necessarily... Oh, I just realized this line through the card is probably supposed to represent the blindfold. But, you know, you might not be able to see the path forward. You might not be able to use logic and reason, or you might be ignoring it right now if you feel like you have been receiving gut feelings, intuitions, messages from spirit about needing to reevaluate something to do with love and relationships. Like this is saying, like you trust your gut here, and really think about what you want and what you deserve. Again, it's can seem like a blockage or a delay, and what Spirit is saying is it's actually an opportunity, because everything that you work on here is going to lead to what you want ultimately in the long run with this Four of Wands. And honestly, it might not even be that long of a run, because this is advice for over the summer, you know? So it could be like, even if you're doing this kind of, you know, stuff, soul searching, shadow work, whatever you're doing here, the self-esteem exercises, whatever's happening here, might happen like early on in the season. If you feel like you're already kind of like in the middle of this process, and then the Four of Wands is this is still advice over the summer. So. And there's with the Two of Swords, this could be a message from Spirit that's connected with being present on the Flamingo Spirit, and the Earth energy here about grounding, meditation, and grounding exercises, particularly maybe yoga, might be really helpful for you at this time. And there's a message here that it's okay, even if you're like already in a romantic relationship. Again, even if you're working hard on something, and with this King of Wands energy, if you're working with other people or collaborating with people, or you have coworkers, or if this represents like a mentor coming in to help you, whatever this represents, it's a social energy here. It's okay to take a step back and spend some time alone if you need to do that in order to figure out where you want to go next, or the path that is most in alignment with your divine path, if that resonates for you. So again, there's a message with the Two of Swords. It's okay to take some time alone to reground yourself, regroup, get in touch with what you want and what you need and what you deserve, especially when it comes to love and romance. It's okay to do that. And there's crystals on this card. Might be an idea to work with crystals, and this person's standing in water. So working with water might also be helpful for you if you resonate with that. And I'm thinking that this, this Two of Swords probably related to this love and relationships. This Four of Wands probably related to this career energy we have going on here, because it's an energy of celebration. And this with this King of Wands and Wheel of Fortune energy here, and it's going through a transition, probably a positive transition. This is talking to me about promotions, reaching the next milestone, putting out a project and it does really well. It's that feeling of celebration of getting the thing that you want. There is a relationship energy here as well. However, with this message here, again, I'm associating this more with this card, and this could be a message that you will eventually achieve the relationship milestones that you want to achieve because you're putting the work in right now. But this is also talking about things that are going on in your career and your finances. There's a lot to celebrate for you over the summer, and you're being given permission to celebrate the things that are going well in your life, and it probably does have to do with your career or whatever you're working on, because Spirit's clearing the path for you to take steps forward in that regard. And it's like to take time to celebrate your milestones. That's the basic message here. I don't remember if I mentioned this, but we do have Aries and Venus energy here as well. The other thing is, if this is like spiritual advice, and you're already like doing the embracing the Two of Swords of like spending time in silence, alone, meditating, weighing out the pros and cons, and getting in touch with your emotions and what your heart wants, especially in love and relationships, the Four of Wands could also be a message about practicing gratitude. And that might be something that is helpful for you, especially in terms of love and relationships. If that resonates for you, that could also help you figure out what you want. Practicing gratitude might also, because it's like, I'm grateful for this and that, therefore I want more of this and that. If you've been feeling a little bit lost, a little bit confused, which can be one of the associated messages with the Two of Swords. So if that resonates for you, that could be some additional advice there. Doing a daily gratitude practice of just saying like 3 things that you're grateful for that day. Could be literally anything in the world. It could be, I'm grateful that I took a hot shower this morning. I'm grateful that I have, 2 loving parents. I'm grateful that my favorite TV show is being renewed for another season. And like literally anything. It's about building the practice into your daily life, your daily routine, if that resonates for you. And then the last piece of advice for you, and this would resonate this is a time to give rather than take with the new moon in Virgo. This would resonate for me, again, in terms of the gratitude practice, specifically. And what I'm hearing is, this is not about, because with the energies here, it's like, this is like, I'm giving and giving and giving, especially to, somebody who's not appreciating what I'm giving, they're not giving me anything back, right? Like I'm giving and giving, I'm not seeing a return on my investment. In love and relationships, this is not a healthy, positive thing. So it's like, I don't think this is referring to this. I think this is referring to, it's time to give to yourself. And that would resonate with the self-care message of Virgo in particular. And if it's a new moon, it's an opportunity for a new cycle. And it can be with all this transitional energy, the new cycle coming in, you have a choice in terms of how you want to, invest your time and energy and resources. And I think you're being encouraged right now in this transitional period to reinvest your time, energy, and resources into yourself and taking care of yourself. And there might, with this green energy here, in a connection maybe to this Seven of Pentacles, there's a heart chakra connection there. That's like, there's an opportunity, again, as it keeps coming up in the reading, there's an opportunity to re-examine your approach to relationships and love and self-care and self-love. And perhaps perhaps doing affirmations might be really helpful for you, and like re-examining how much you're willing to give to a relationship that you might not be giving to yourself, or expecting to get from your partner. And it's like, the basic message is, it is healthy to expect to get back the same amount that we give into a relationship. And if you recognize a pattern where that has not been the case in your relationships, there might be like limiting self-beliefs that it is time to re-examine. And it's, again, it's not necessarily a blockage or delay. It is an opportunity for healing. It's an opportunity to give to yourself rather than take from yourself to give to somebody else. That's the way I'm being called to read this card. And if you're resonating with that, the grounding message of like the earthy energy here, and the being present and meditating, there could also be a connection because Virgo's an earth sign. There's she's wearing a flower crown, to reconnect with nature. Maybe going outside in nature, putting your feet in the grass, and trying to physically ground yourself might also be something that is very helpful. I would also associate the Virgo self-care message again with things like practicing yoga, if that resonates for you. I know I resisted it for a long time, and then I found that when I worked it into my daily routine, it really just helps put my brain back in my body, which is that's, for me, in my experience, that's a lot of what grounding is, because I tend to overanalyze everything. I can get very stuck in a thought spiral in my head, and when I'm doing yoga, I'm not thinking about anything. I'm just going through movements with my body. So I don't know if that's helpful for somebody to hear. With that said, I think that is where I'm going to leave your reading today, pile 2. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below and let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you again very much for watching Pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. If you chose the green dragonfly, then this is going to be your reading for today. We're going to get some predictions for you about the summertime. This is going to include things that have to do with your career or schooling or anything you're doing with your time or to earn money, including any creative projects. We'll get some messages about that, and then we'll get some messages about love and romance, see what's going on there. And then we're just going to get some advice from your spirit guides that is going to be related to the reading as a whole, and just some advice for things that might happen over the summertime. So with that said, let's get into it. What can you tell me about? Okay, before I even get the question out, we have the Magician. Beautiful. All right, Spirit, what can you tell? Okay. Okay, that's too many. All right, Spirit, what can you tell me about Pile 3's career this summer? Spirit, what can you tell me about Pile? Okay. We have, ooh, very beautiful energy here. We have 2 major arcana. We have the Magician and the Empress. Right away, this is beautiful energy if you've been trying to manifest something. Just take that if it resonates. And I mean, right away, this is an energy of being in your power and manifesting something for yourself, and having faith, and being in like a receptive, open energy. It's like I'm doing my part to make sure that the things that I want in my career or schooling or creative project, whatever you're working on, that it's going to, I'm pulling my weight, I'm doing whatever I need to do. That's my responsibility in terms of helping the things that I want come towards me, and then I'm going to let the universe do the rest. And there's a message here that the universe will. That this is a beautiful energy for manifesting whatever outcome you want. It's working together with spirit. This is a co-creating with spirit sort of energy when it comes to your career or your schooling, or again, whatever you're working on. There's a message with the Magician about confidence, about feeling self-assured, and it's because you're embracing your personal power to co-create with spirit, and like you're showing up for your part of that. And with the Empress message, spirit's also showing up to meet you halfway. But yes, the Magician is a very powerful energy. It's basically saying that you can have whatever you want right now, and there's a message about knowing that you can have whatever you want and going after it. So if that includes skill building, studying, practicing, just you're working on it. You're really working on it. It's like an assertive energy with the number 1 here as well. And if you've been trying to, something that's just coming in, if you've been trying to create something new, because this is the energy of the number 1, this is an excellent time to do that. You're being encouraged to do that. If you have an idea for something, if you have a creative idea and moment of inspiration, something that you've been thinking about doing, but you haven't necessarily taken steps towards it yet, you are being encouraged to do it over the summer. This is an excellent time to do that. And with the energy of Mercury here, there's also a message about authenticity and speaking your world into being. So doing mirror manifestations, mirror affirmations, however that applies to you, might also be especially powerful right now and over the summertime. This is like you are fully embodying your power to have whatever you want out of your career, your schooling, your creative project, whatever you're working on. This is like focused, I'm doing it sort of energy. And that's beautiful. And if you feel like you have already embodied this energy, you are being encouraged by Spirit to continue, to keep doing it. You're doing a great job. And if you feel like you haven't necessarily taken steps towards it yet, what I'm hearing is that you will. That this summertime is going to be an opportunity for you to embrace the power that you have to create the outcome that you want for yourself with spiritual help. And because that spiritual help is coming in and because you are receptive to that, you might receive an opportunity. You know, it's the number 1. It's a new cycle. Something new is starting. This is a great energy for people, just like doors opening for you. People coming towards you, being offered a random opportunity. You know, and you're being encouraged to take it. In this energy of the Magician, it's like yes. When you are offered opportunities, they are chances for you to say yes to what the universe is offering you. If that resonates for you. As always, it is important to trust your intuition. If something doesn't feel right, it is important to pay attention to that feeling. However, this is an energy of like what's being, what just came into my head was the, an allegory, I don't know the word, but it's the, like the story of, you know, people, somebody who is stranded in a flood and people keep coming by in boats offering to help them and they keep saying, oh, God will help me, God will help me. And then, you know, they get to heaven and they ask, well, why didn't you help me? And God says, well, I sent you 3 boats, you know. So it's that message of like, you know, even if an opportunity shows up and it's not necessarily what we were thinking we were going to get or exactly what we wanted, the way that we pictured it, there might be a message here about being open to the opportunities that do come along, as long as they feel like they are giving you like a positive feel, like as long as there's no major red flags, I guess is the way to say that. You know, if it feels right, then do it, is basically the message here. Even if it wasn't exactly the path that you or the way you thought the path was going to turn in terms of where you want to be eventually, there might be something coming along, someone offering you something. And I'm being drawn to this pomegranate in the Empress's hand is like something being offered to you. Maybe you don't like pomegranates. Maybe you didn't want a pomegranate. Maybe you wanted an apple, you know, but it could be that it is the next step towards what you want. It's something being offered to you that is being spiritually supported. So again, there's the message here to remain open to things that come along and to remain in your assertive kind of the cardinal sort of energy that I would associate with the Magician of making things happen for yourself and being open when to new opportunities when spirit is co-creating with you and opening doors for you and removing obstacles for you because of the work that you're doing. And there's also just a piece of advice, additional advice with the Empress when it comes to to your career, and I do think that this is something that you already know. I'm getting the sense you already know what I'm about to say, but it is about not, again, it's what I was just saying about if someone offers you a pomegranate and it wasn't the apple that you wanted, it's still remaining open to that, because there's an element about relinquishing control, like just surrendering to the process, the way that it happens, and trying, now not trying to control the outcome, not trying to control every little piece along the way, because you know, the things are going to happen the way that they're meant to, you know, and you are being spiritually guided and spiritually supported. This is really positive energy here. And just with the Empress, there is that message of, yes, it's very good to go after what you want and to be assertive and to be self-assured and say, like, I want this, I'm manifesting that, I want to, you know, and it's, you know, a lot of people who give advice about manifestation will tell you to be specific, you know, ask for exactly what you want. And that's, there's a measure of that that has to do with self-worth and believing that we are worthy of exactly the things that we want. We don't need to add conditions. We don't need to say, well, if it's available, you know, it's like, no, I want this exact thing and I'm going to ask for this exact thing. But then also being open if the thing that you were offered is not the exact thing that you wanted, because it's still something more than you had before you did your manifestation, and it might lead you to a pathway where you will eventually get the exact thing that you wanted, and or you might realize that the thing that you were offered was actually better for you than the thing that you thought that you wanted. So there's a message there about remaining open, remaining receptive, and letting go of any. If you feel like you are just like in such like a focused, yes, I'm doing it kind of energy, and that's a positive thing. That's not a negative thing. But to just relinquish any perfectionistic tendencies that you might have. And again, part of that is just like knowing that you are being spiritually supported and that the universe will meet you halfway, whatever that looks like. They're going to send you boats. Might not be the boats you want or exactly what you're looking for, but just remain open to it, because it is being sent by Spirit. You are co-creating with Spirit in terms of your career and whatever you're working on over the summer. So this is definitely a beautiful positive message, and there could also be a message here with both the Magician and the energy of the number 3 here on the Empress card of about feeling very inspired and being very creative at this time. If you feel like you haven't been feeling inspired lately, or you might have been feeling, you know, a little bit bored or something, with the energy of the Magician and the energy of the number 3, I see that you are going to be feeling much more creative and much more creatively inspired. And if you do have a creative idea and you're wondering whether you should pursue it or not, the answer here is yes, definitely. Absolutely do it. And do it while not being super attached to whatever the outcome is, because whatever it is going to be the right thing for you, whether it is the thing that you thought you wanted or not, if that makes sense for you. Okay, and then we have leadership, which with the broccoli here, and this is associated with Earth. It is associated with the sign of Libra and the sign of Gemini, which is interesting because usually these cards only have like one associated sign, but that's okay. It is also associated with the number 6. There's a moon on it, and this looks like a wand to me. So that's interesting because wands definitely associated with magicians. Leadership, again, I would put that in the Magician. It's like you taking the lead in your own life and trusting Spirit to meet you halfway. This could be saying that you might be stepping into a leadership position in your career if that resonates for you. And this is like an energy of taking control. It's taking the reins and again, stepping into your power and having faith in your ability to affect the changes that you want to affect in your own life. And the wand here, very much associated, I would just say that's very much associated with the Magician. You might use wands, like a crystal wand, if that resonates for you. I have a selenite wand right here that I use to cleanse the cards between readings. So working with wands or crystals might be something that is important for you over the summer. We also have the moon there, which for me is a message about that spirit is co-creating with you. They're working behind the scenes to make sure that that everything that you're working to manifest is going to come in precisely when it's meant to. And what's interesting is because we do have this Empress energy, and then we have the Libra and the Gemini here, which are both, you know, it's like relationships, communication, etc. It's a very like kind of interpersonal energy. There might be a message here about needing to work with other people and to be open to that. Even though you are just stepping into this leadership energy. Like leadership is important for you in terms of taking leadership of the direction of your career or your life's path, or whatever this means for you. There's some way in which you are going to be taking the lead in your career or studies or whatever we're talking about here. And there's a need to be open to working with others and your interpersonal relationships here that I'm seeing with the Libra and Gemini energy. And that could even be related to, as I was like the Mercury here, about like speaking your truth, being assertive, making sure that your voice is heard, and also being open to the opinions of others and working and collaborating with other people from a leadership position, if that resonates for you. And then also this is the number 6, which is in numerology that's associated with the home and family. So there might be some connection here to family. You might be, your career or school situation or your financial situation might be tied up in family relationships, if that resonates for you. And there's a need, again, to step up and take the lead, if that resonates for you. That might not be a message for everybody, but there might be a need to really kind of step into your power when it comes to your career or studies or whatever we're talking about. And then the number 6 is also associated with the 6th house, which does have to do with work, the day-to-day, our daily routines. And so that the connection here, I think, would be about incorporating that leadership energy, that taking control of your life and the direction that you want to go in, and doing whatever you need to do on your side of the co-creation with Spirit, and incorporating those practices into your daily routine. It's like showing up every day in this magician energy. It's going to help bring everything that you want towards you. So again, this is a beautiful energy here. You're being encouraged to take the lead, and I think that you are. And it's like you're just co-creating with Spirit. That's the basic message here. Whatever you want, whatever you're trying to bring into your life, yes, it's coming in. The Empress is a very abundant energy. There's nothing to worry about here, even if it doesn't come in immediately, because with the Empress there is an element of needing to have faith and to, you know, be open to you know, the timeline that we're working with here, whatever that timeline might be. But it's like the things you're working on are definitely working, and Spirit is here and they're like taking notes on whatever it is that you're trying to bring into your life. And being in this leadership energy is going to be extremely effective in bringing in whatever you want, whatever outcome you want. If you're trying to get a promotion, if you want a new job, if you want a creative project to succeed, whatever you're working on, this leadership energy, magician energy, and having faith that the universe will provide your abundance precisely when it is meant to, will help bring all those things towards you. And I do want to say that it was 11:33 on the clock that I just saw, so that's more 1s and more 3s, and I would just take that as confirmation of what we're seeing here. And I also wanted to point out we have like kind of a reversed rainbow on these cards, and that to me would talk about being in alignment. Like when all of your 7 chakras are in alignment, it's kind of like a rainbow of the chakras, and so that would speak to me about this is a time when your chakras are going to be very much in alignment, and you are going to be feeling like you are in alignment with your divine path, which is a beautiful feeling. So I wanted to say that before I forget. And with that said, I am going to move into the love and romance portion. So what can you tell me about pile 2's love and romance over the summer? What can you tell me about love and romance? Okay. Ooh, beautiful. We have the 9 of Pentacles. Okay. Oh, okay. It jumped out. All right. And then we have, ooh, interesting. Okay, we have the 4 of Cups here. So right off the bat, I do want to say in a love and romance reading, sorry, I'll fix the cards. In a love and romance reading, the Nine of Pentacles can talk about needing alone time and being independent. And that can have a message about feeling like this person's just chilling in a hammock. You know, it's like feeling content being on your own. And that can even be like, well, you are in a relationship. And there's a message about investing time to be with yourself. And with this Four of Cups here, there's a message here that you might not currently be looking for a romantic relationship, or this could be a message, and I'm just going to be honest, that the relationship that you're looking for might not come this summer. It might not happen over the summer. But it's not a negative thing, because it could be that you are the thing that you're looking for. You're not willing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. That's the message. And people might be coming towards you with romantic offers this summer, and you're just going to know, it's like, no, that's not right. You're not the right person. You're not my soulmate. If you're trying to manifest a soulmate, or like you're not in the right energy, or whatever, or there's too many red flags with you, or whatever it is. People might be offering you romantic offers, and you're just like, nope, that's not the right thing for me, or not right now, or I don't want to. Or just like, I'm happy where I am and I don't want to entertain this idea right now. So again, that could speak to me about somebody who is like just not interested in romance right now. You're focusing on yourself and your self-development, and perhaps, because this is a Pentacles card, your career. If that resonates for you. If you're single and you're looking for a romantic relationship, what I'm hearing is Spirit is encouraging you to focus your time, energy, and resources on yourself right now, and particularly your career, because the people coming towards you over the summer are just not going to be what you're looking for, and you're going to know that. And if you're in a relationship, there's an energy maybe either of long distance or of feeling a little bit detached, if I'm going to be honest. Because we have this independent, alone time energy of the Nine of Pentacles, and then this kind of disinterested energy of the Four of Cups that might speak to somebody, and it could be you, pulling away emotionally from the relationship. And it could also be, if you're resonating with what I'm saying, if you are currently in a relationship and you and your partner do have separate lives, separate finances, separate friends groups, and you do spend a lot of time apart. Maybe you both travel for work and you just don't have a ton of time together, and that's okay, because the times when you do come together are really special and beautiful. Then, and if that works for you, then there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you're not being encouraged to do anything differently. And the message of why I would think the Four of Cups would be there in that situation is because you're totally satisfied. And you're not looking for anything else. That if that is the relationship you are currently in and it works for you, then that's great. There's nothing else to be done. It's just like, that's a good, it's going to continue as it is over the summer, if that resonates for you. And something else that's coming through is, I don't know how to put this. It's almost like, you see how this person is just like reclining, and then it's the boredom, disinterest of the Four of Cups, especially cups, are supposed to have to do with emotions, and there's an energy of boredom, like the feelings it's not passionate, and it could be complacency, like one or the both of you, if you are currently in a relationship, are just, it's fine. But the feelings just are that it might be time to move on. If that resonates for you. If it doesn't resonate for you, you don't have to take that message. But I just wanted to mention that. And then I do want to talk about the signs here. We have Virgo and Venus. So it's an earth sign, and Venus connected again with this Empress kind of energy. And then we have Cancer and the Moon. And Cancer is ruled by the moon, but it's the moon here and the moon there, even though this card is about your career. But there's messages in both piles about Spirit working behind the scenes. And because of that, if you are single and currently looking for a relationship, even though there's a message here that you might not find what you're looking for over this summer, because you have been, or you will be over the summer, investing in yourself and your self-development and your career with all this manifestation, co-creating leadership energy here. Things are going really well here. You might be earning a lot of money with the Nine of Pentacles. Because you're focusing on yourself right now, Spirit might be intentionally bringing people into your life who are going to make romantic offers towards you, or could be potential romantic partners. And it's like, not in a malicious way. They're not trying to trip you up, but they're just bringing people into your life to see whether you are really committed to getting what you want out of a relationship. How committed are you to the lessons that you have been learning, to prioritizing yourself in a relationship, to practicing self-care, whatever that means for you? How committed are you to this? Let's bring in people that are going to just test, just to see whether you're ready for somebody who's going to offer you what you deserve. And that might be a reason why the moon here is here on this card as saying, like, this is Spirit driving people to come towards you. You're in a very attractive energy over the summer, like very attractive. So it's not surprising to me. And even this Nine of Pentacles is very attractive, you know, and it's not surprising to me that people are going to be coming towards you with offers or coming into your life as potential. And it's like it's an opportunity it's an opportunity for you to practice discernment and really prove to yourself, most importantly, that you have learned lessons from the past and that you are now prioritizing what you want out of a relationship, and that is going to help bring the things that you do deserve towards you. That is, again, a powerful manifestation energy. So I did want to say that as a potential interpretation of these cards here. Okay, and then we have the Cow Spirit, which says, the miracles are endless. I am just going to move this over just so we have room for the rest of the cards. The miracles are endless. So for me, that would be, first of all, I would associate the Cow Spirit with this Empress energy, because it is about having faith and knowing that the abundance of the universe is being shared with you at all times, whether you have that abundance in the physical yet or not. And so it's like, that would almost confirm for me the interpretation that I just gave. If you are single and currently looking for a relationship, that, that is, people might be coming towards you as an opportunity for you to practice discernment and practice having faith that the things that you do deserve are going to come in when they are meant to. And the miracles are endless. You're going to get what you want out of this situation eventually. That there is nothing to worry about in the long run, because the abundant universe will provide. And there's a message here, I think, also about gratitude, because the person on the Nine of Pentacles seems to be very grateful to be in this abundant energy. And so it's saying, like, whatever abundance you do have, it's important to practice gratitude for that, because that will help bring in everything else that you are trying to manifest. There's also a connection to nature here. I would associate the Cow Spirit with Earth. We have this Earth energy here. We have Taurus here, which, cow in a bowl. There could be a connection there. All those flowers here. Black-eyed Susans or sunflowers might be an important flower for you. And then this earthy energy of the Pentacles there with the Virgo. I would also, there's connected energies here. And with the 15, which reduces to 6, and we have the 6 over here, there might be a connected message again about needing to incorporate gratitude practice into your daily life. And in addition to that, practicing faith as part of your daily routine. Having faith that the things that you want out of a relationship are going to come towards you precisely when they are meant to, and that if you are currently in a relationship, and we're seeing this energy as maybe one or the both of you, to be honest, maybe starting to lose interest, going your separate ways, becoming complacent and no longer being invested in the relationship, whatever it is, there is a message here to have faith. Because things are going on behind the scenes that you can't see. Spirit is working to bring you the things that you want. And if, unfortunately, this is talking about a current relationship and this does resonate for you, I would say that every ending is an opportunity for a new beginning. And I know that can be hard to hear, that can be very frustrating and upsetting when you're going through a painful ending. But that is one of the messages that's coming through with this, the Miracles Are Endless card, the cow spirit. It says abundance, faith in the universe, co-creating with spirit, and knowing that you are being spiritually supported. So I hope that resonates for you, pile 2. I will say, because the 6 in numerology does connect with the home and family, and we have this Cancer energy here on the 4 of Cups. Even though this is like a love and romance reading, there might be some healing related to family that might be important for your love and romantic life. And that could have to do with discernment. That could have to do with learning not to settle for less than you deserve and working on worthiness. If that resonates for somebody watching, there was an extra connection there that I wanted to make before we move into the last part of your reading. So in the final part of your reading, we are just going to get some overall advice for you, perhaps related to this stuff or anything else that comes out in the cards. So, Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 3 this summer? What advice do you have for pile 3 over the summer, Spirit? What advice do you have for pile 3 this summer? What advice do you have? Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought I had them and then it was way too many cards. So let's try that again. All right, Spirit, okay. Okay, still too many cards, Spirit. Sorry, pile 3, too many cards keep coming out. I think that your spirit guides really want to talk to you. And I know you are working with them, you are co-creating with them. The Empress energy might be saying that that Spirit wants you to be like, just practice receptivity maybe a little bit more. I'm just that might be an intuitive message for somebody. If it's not, if that doesn't resonate for you, don't worry about it. Okay, so what advice do you have for pile 3 over the summer, Spirit? What advice do you have? Okay. Okay, this is interesting. So we do have the 4 of Wands, and I will say that this card came out as advice for pile 2 as well. And then we have the Devil. And I want to say with the 4 of Wands is more Venusian energy. We have Venus. So that's definitely connected with relationships, and particularly romance. There might be like a thread of that through here. That it could be that past experiences with romantic partners might have had a big effect on your spiritual journey, if that resonates for you. But there is a message here about celebrating milestones. And I think this could be connected with this career energy, because big things happening in your career. If that resonates for you, it's important to celebrate these things. There's a message that might be connected here about practicing gratitude for the things that we do have, the things, if you're in a 9 of Pentacles energy, even in a relationship reading, it's a positive message, because it's about feeling abundant and feeling happy and feeling like you do have miracles in your life, even if you don't necessarily have the thing that you want exactly. And there was a connected message here with this Empress energy about being receptive to whatever comes your way, if it is in alignment with you, with your divine purpose, if it's in alignment with your energy, even if it wasn't exactly the thing that you wanted, but it's like not settling for less than you deserve at the same time, if that resonates for you. But there's like an interconnectedness with practicing gratitude, the 4 of Wands. That's how it's like celebrating things, and and making the time to celebrate the miracles in your life, whatever they are, that's a powerful manifestation energy. And what's interesting is that I've just occurred to me, both the Four of Wands and the Devil card are both related to commitment and achievement, in the sense that Four of Wands can talk about milestones, like relationship milestones, career milestones, and it is a big celebration energy, as you can see on the card. The Devil talks about attachments and commitments, and that can include things like signing a new job contract. It can include things like getting married or getting engaged. Both cards would talk about something like that for me. So there might be a reassurance here that whatever you want with this Magician card here, it is coming, but it's going to come in its time. So that if that is a message that somebody needs to hear, just a little bit of reassurance from Spirit, that would definitely be here. I would definitely say that that might be one of the messages of these two cards coming out together. Yeah, I'm struggling to figure out how to say this, and how to incorporate it into the rest of the reading. But the Four of Wands can also be connected with the feeling of coming home, of when something just feels right. And it could be like literally going to your hometown. Might be something that you were being encouraged to do. And if we're talking about, there might be a thread of something that has to do with like a past family relationship, if that resonates for you, or a past romantic relationship that might have taken place in your hometown or in somewhere that you have lived before. If that makes sense for you, there might be some attachment that Spirit is advising you to take a second look at. That, I guess, is the way to put it. Like something related to the root of something. There might be an attachment with the Devil card here to something that has to do with your hometown or your foundation in some way. If that resonates for you, again, that you are being asked to examine by Spirit as part of their advice for you over the summer. It's just like an opportunity to examine those things. And it might be related to this Four of Cups, of like people making offers towards you, but it's not the thing that you want, or it's not right for you, or it's less than you deserve. And you're just not interested in what they're offering. And it could be because you have been letting go of attachments and then letting go of the feeling that you need to entertain every offer that comes towards you, because you don't. You do not need to do that. You don't need to give your energy to everybody. You do not need to settle for anything less than you deserve. So that's a message that's coming through there. And I also want to point out before I forget, we've had some repeating numbers. The Devil is number 15, the Cow Spirit is number 15, and they both reduce to 6, which is on the Broccoli card. And so June in particular, and June the 15th, might be a significant date for you, if that resonates for you. And we have these two 4s here right next to each other, and so that would talk to me about stability, feeling secure, wherever you're at. And like, yes, here it can talk about boredom and complacency, but I'm not getting a sense of like a big tower moment or something that's really going to rock your foundation. Like, I think you are moving forward in a way that is in alignment with your divine path, and there is a feeling of security that might have to do with knowing that you are in your power, you're co-creating with Spirit, you don't have to settle for less than you deserve, and the miracles are endless. Like, there's not really anything to worry about in the long run, if that resonates for you. And the message of the Devil card is like, whether it's reversed or upright, is usually mixed. And you would know, like, you would be able to say, I think better than I can, which interpretation would apply to you, but at its core it does just talk about attachments, and that can be attachments to negative things, such as like self-destructive behaviors or limiting self-beliefs or addictive behaviors, whatever that means for you, bad habits, that it can talk about that. And if that is resonating for you, if there's some habit or something you've been trying to stop or change or look at that, you know, it's okay, this isn't healthy for me, but you know, I really want it. You know, you're being asked by Spirit to examine those things, if that resonates for you. The other way I could interpret it with the Four of Wands here is that it is also okay to, because this card, it talks also about like indulgence, right? Which it can be talking about overindulgence, but it can just be talking about like it's okay to celebrate. It's okay to have fun every once in a while and just enjoy the moment, and not be so hard on yourself. You know, if one of your attachments here is like to limiting self-beliefs or perfectionism. We did have the message come out here with the Magician and the Empress, like about maybe needing to let go of control a little bit, you know, let go of maybe a bit of perfectionism, if that resonates for you. That could be something, again, that you are being asked to look at with the Devil, that it's okay to give yourself a little bit of grace, you know, to do whatever you can do, and just leave the rest, and leave the rest up to the universe, because you are spiritually supported. And also, before I forget, I do want to mention the zodiac signs that we have on these cards. We have Aries on the Four of Wands, and then we have Capricorn on the Devil. And Capricorn is more earth energy, which we've had like a few times around the reading. So with the earth energy here, it might be an idea to also do some grounding exercises. I don't remember if I talked about that in this pile, but things such as meditation, yoga, however that means to you, like putting your feet on the ground, communing with nature, whatever that means for you, doing grounding exercises might also be helpful for you at this time. So that's what I'm seeing with that. And then I put the tarot cards on top of your oracle card and I couldn't see it. Okay, so, okay, first of all, something I forgot to talk about was the colors on here, and particularly the Devil card. These are like lighter pastel colors. So one of the reasons why I love this today. I love the colors, but this is like this would talk to me about the third eye up into the crown. The colors on this Devil card, and then we have this third eye energy with it's time to release negativity with the full moon in Scorpio. And I would say, like, you might intuitively know that that you have behaviors that are related to limiting self-beliefs, negative self-talk, or just any kind of self-destructive behavior, pattern of behavior, whatever it is, you're being asked to release whatever needs to be released here. A cord-cutting ceremony might be especially important for you. That might help bring stuff up that you have not yet dealt with. Again, the energy of the Four is very stable. It can also be a little bit stubborn. So there might be a message here that you know that there is some more releasing or some more just like the last thread of something there that Spirit's really asking you to examine, because letting go of that last little bit of negativity is really going to help you bring in everything you want in every other aspect of your life, and in particularly if it's related to self-esteem and affirmation exercises. That is a great way to banish the last of whatever these limiting self-beliefs, whatever we're talking about here in terms of the negativity. And this could also include our attachments to specific people. And so there might be a message here if you are currently in a relationship and you're resonating with the idea that it might no longer be feeling like it's the right thing for you, but you might be wanting to stay just because it's not bad. If you know it's not the right thing for you, then it's time to release that connection, if that resonates for you. And there might also be with the Venusian thread I was seeing through here, and then the energy of the number 6 of like in numerology connected to home and family. There might be an attachment to a person, to people, to someone in your hometown, which might be your family, however that resonates for you, that you're being asked to, if it's negative, if it's having a negative impact on you, your mental health, your self-beliefs, it's okay to cut ties. It's okay to do whatever you have to do to protect yourself and to live in a positive energy. And if that is something, I realize it can be extremely difficult to go through something like that. If that is something that is resonating for you, you're being encouraged to do it because it is a way in which you will be prioritizing yourself, which is a very positive thing. With that said, that is where I'm going to leave your reading today, pile 3. I hope that it resonated for you. I hope that this has been helpful. If you liked the video, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. And with that said, thank you very much for watching pile 3, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello pile 4 and welcome to your reading. If you chose the yellow dragonfly, this is going to be a reading for today about your predictions over the summer. We're going to take a look at your career or schooling or whatever you're doing with your time or to earn money or a creative project, whatever it is, it's all under the umbrella of career. So we're going to take a look at that, and then we're going to take a look at love and romance for you. And then we're just going to get some general advice from Spirit about things that might happen over the summer and how to handle those things. And with that said, let's get into it. So we're going to start with the career part. What can you tell me about pile 4's career over the summer, Spirit? What can you tell me about pile 4's career? Oh. Okay, we have... Ooh, okay, we have Justice. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. Right, so what can you tell me about pile 4's career? Oh, okay. And then we have... Ooh, okay, this is interesting. I was wondering if one of these cards was going to come out. There's 2 special cards in this deck. There's the Prism, which is this card, and then there's another card that's called the Void. And what's interesting about them is that when these cards, I did want to include these cards in my readings because I think they have kind of like an interesting message. So the Prism is a good omen. It is a good card. The basic message, I will talk about the Justice card, but the basic message of the Prism here is this is a confirmation that your intuition is incredibly on point and you can trust the things that you're seeing, whether that's in tarot readings or just trusting your own intuition or whatever you're doing that's related to divination. And again, that could be anything. It could be scrying, it could be reading runes, studying your astrological chart, whatever it is. You are very, very connected to Spirit and the what would you call it? Like the spiritual telephone line is very open right now. And basically you can trust the messages that are coming through and especially trust your intuition. That's a huge message of the Prism card when it comes out. And then the Void card, if that had come out, would have been the opposite message. That the lines are particularly blurred or closed right now, and to take everything with a grain of salt. So the fact that we have the Prism card is saying this is kind of like a double message. This could be saying that the reading I'm about to give about your career or schooling or creative project, whatever you're doing with your time, the messages that I'm about to give, and specifically the message about this Justice card, is very accurate. It's going to be like, and I don't want to say that about my own reading because it sounds arrogant, but this is like a message about you can trust the messages that are coming out in the reading, and or if what I'm about to say doesn't really resonate for you, there's a message here that you can trust your intuition, you can trust your own inner knowing and messages that you are receiving from your spiritual team in relation to your career. And if you haven't been doing divination work, like if you don't read your own tarot cards, if you don't have any means of doing that, I think you might be being encouraged to start practicing that if that is something that does resonate for you and that you are interested in doing. If you've been interested in learning how to read tarot, if you've been interested in other forms of divination, whatever that means for you, there might be a message to look into that, because it's a good time over the summer to develop those skills, because you are very connected to Spirit, you're very connected to Source, and you're very connected to your inner intuition. So this is like a card about clear messages coming through with the Prism card. So I wanted to talk about that first because it's interesting. It's kind of like a special card here. And what's also interesting is that the cards in this deck are all different colors. But there's kind of like, again, like this overall rainbow color here. And that would just, you know, again, emphasize for me that, that the message of the Justice card is kind of being amplified by this Prism card here. So with that said, let's get into the message of the Justice card. And I think it is like particularly important that it did come out with the Prism card, because there's a message with the Justice card when it comes to your career. Because justice is associated with the scales, there's a message about balance, about maybe needing to fine-tune a balance when it comes to your careers, to figuring out what your priorities are, and in terms of work-life balance. That could be a message there that that there are things that require a little bit of fine-tuning there. And this card, it is justice. There could be an intuitive way to read this card. That means that you are going to find the path or the career or an idea or some inspiration about how to move forward that is in alignment with your divine path. That is an intuitive way to read this card that's not necessarily associated with the typical reading. There is also a warning here. There's a message here about needing to practice caution, and there might be a message about needing to take a step back to weigh the pros and cons. And so how do I want to put this? If you've been feeling confused, or like you have several options in front of you, if you're standing at a crossroads, if you've just finished something and you're kind of thinking about what to do next, or if you're in a position in your career life, whatever that means for you, where you are not necessarily 100% satisfied, or you feel like whatever you're doing is not in alignment with your divine path, with your divine purpose, there's a message here to weigh the pros and cons and to be logical, rational about it. Use your judgment about that. And it could be, it's like a combination of intuition and of like literally writing a list of pros and cons for each pathway forward that might help you figure out how to move forward. And the message, the reason why it's important that the Prism card is here is like, this is like, you can trust your judgment. You can trust whatever the pros and cons list says, even if you find that you've written out the pros and cons and one option A, whatever that is, has more pros than option B. So it's better on paper. If option A doesn't feel right, you can trust that feeling. That's a message of the Prism card. So there is a message here about, like, yes, it's okay to like write it out and try and use your rational, logical brain to try to figure out how to move fast, like literally weigh the pros and cons of each decision. And then it's also okay to just trust your gut in terms of how to move forward here, because you are very connected to your inner wisdom, your inner knowing here. Even if it's telling you something that doesn't line up on paper, that's okay. Because you're being given access to a higher level of knowledge right now over the summer. And there's also, I did say there was a warning with this card. I don't think I followed up on that. There is a warning with this card. Other people might be judging your work at this time. It might be like a situation where, you know, if you're maybe you're not working right now, but you're in school, you know, and you just did like you have like some evaluation period or like a big exam or something coming up, and it's like you're being evaluated in some way, and this could even be saying like other people are weighing your pros and cons and making a judgment about you. The fact that this card is upright might say that you don't really have anything to worry about, because other people are going to be able to clearly see the value that you bring. But there could be a message to be cautious and to not make any rash decisions in terms of your career over the summer. It's like with the message of justice, like take a measured approach to decisions that you're making, and in the long run there's nothing to worry about, again, because your judgment right now is very clear. Your sight is very clear and your intuition is on point right now over the summer. Even if you don't feel like it's like that right now, like if you still feel confused or you still are not 100% sure where to go or how things are going to work out, the message is that over the summer you can trust your gut feelings. And there's also a message, because the Justice card is associated with Libra, there might be a message that there might be an important work relationship that is kind of hanging in the balance over the summer. And it's basically the message of these two cards is it's up to you what to do in that situation. And there might be a need to kind of slow down, take whatever time you need to come to a conclusion about how to approach this situation. Because again, you're being advised not to rush into anything. You know, it's okay to take time and think about it. Really take your feelings and your intuitive knowing into consideration when you're trying to make this decision, if that resonates for you. Also, the Justice, the scales I would associate with the justice system, and particularly like lawyers and things like that. So there might be a connection there for somebody. Only take that if it resonates. But if the decision that you're trying to make, or the pathway you're trying to move towards, has some relation to the concept of getting justice for something, that in itself might be a clue for you as to how to move forward. I also want to point out that it is the number 11, which is associated with the 11th house of community. So again, there's another connection to other people and your work relationships in terms of this Justice card. And because you're being advised to kind of maybe take it slow and kind of cautiously feel out the best way forward, there might be a message there about being really careful with your work relationships at this time, but you will be able to figure out the way forward. Even if you feel like currently you're confused or currently your path is a little bit cloudy, it will become clear to you over the summer if you give yourself the time to really kind of weigh the decisions that you're making, if that makes sense. And then the other thing I wanted to say is, because the number 11 is a master number and it is associated with Life Path 11, there might be a message there. If you are Life Path 11, there might be a message there to try to find something that is most in alignment with your life's path. And even if you are not a Life Path 11, there might be a message to look up your Life Path number, which I believe is, and you can find numerology like easy. You can just Google how to find your life path number, and I believe it is just adding up because each letter has a numerical value. I believe it is just adding up the letters in your full legal name that will give you your life path number. And I know I've done this for myself, and so I know that there's one that's your full legal name, there's one that's all the consonants your name, there's a life path number, a soul number, a destiny number. I've done all of this for myself. I just don't remember off the top of my head which one is which. So I think it is just adding up the digits in your full legal name. Again, you can find online how to do it pretty easily, but there might be a message, just because I'm being really drawn to that life path 11, that your life path number might give you a clue as to how to move forward in this situation, if that resonates for you. So with that said, we're going to get the Oracle card. Oh, okay, this is a very positive omen here. We have luck with lime. It is associated with the element of water and the sign of Capricorn. It is the number 31, which reduces to 4, which in numerology is definitely associated with work. It's like the everyday life, your routine, stability, safety, security. So there's a message here that even if you are being evaluated, if that is something that resonates for you, other people are kind of taking a hard look at your work and the value that you bring to whatever you're working on. There is a message with the 4 that there's nothing to worry about, and then the luck message, obviously, that things are going to work out in your favor, especially if you trust your judgment here with this card. And then the association between Capricorn and the workplace is also very positive, because Capricorn is a sign that is associated with hard work and ambition and determination. So those are all very positive attributes, and I don't think that the luck card coming out here is like, there's nothing to worry about, even if you're being kind of cautioned against making any I just heard sudden movements, but that's not really the right phrase. Making any rash decisions, I guess, in terms of your, like, just give yourself time to kind of figure it out, and luck is on your side. In the long term, there's nothing to worry about over the summer here. And you will have a certain level of job security with the number 4 there, and with the fact that this is associated with the element of water, there might be a connection to your emotions, your intuition, your inner knowing that I would see being reflected by the fact that we have the Prism card here. And this is the first time this card has come out in a reading. And honestly, this card might be upside down. I just noticed, because the kind of the signature of the card maker is usually at the bottom of the card. So I'm sorry about that. I didn't notice that. But yes, so the Prism card, the fact that it came out for you is a really, really good sign that you can trust your judgment, luck is on your side, and that the water sign of following your intuition, and then the Capricorn of, like, but also put the work in, you know, like, put the time, give yourself the time to figure out how to move forward here. So that is, and there's also could be a message with the luck card and the Justice card. If you're like not necessarily resonating with it, the idea about not like having to make a decision or weigh the pros and cons of something, or find a work-life balance, fine-tune something. If you're like, everything is peachy and I'm in a great place in my my career or schooling or whatever, and like everything's great, then this could be saying there might be a job opportunity, there might be some opportunity that is coming towards you because you're having good luck right now, and this could just be a message from Spirit just to closely examine what it is and try to, you know, make a decision about it that is most in alignment with your intuition, with your gut feelings about whatever the opportunity is. So again, this is the luck card, a very positive omen in terms of your career or schoolwork or creative project or whatever it is, however you're spending your time. And then there's also a beaded bracelet on this card, and so the way that I would interpret that is you might have some sort of totem or piece of jewelry or something that is a good luck charm for you. Personally, I have a little smoky quartz angel that I keep on my desk, and that's, for me, is a protection. It's a protection crystal for me, if you have something like that, then that might be a message that putting your intention towards whatever your good luck charm is helping bring that luck in towards you, if that resonates for you. Otherwise, if that doesn't resonate for you and that's not something for you, then don't worry about it. But I just thought that was interesting. We have that beaded bracelet there. So that's what I'm seeing in terms of that. Definitely positive things happening over the summer. And let's get into the love and relationships part. All right, Spirit, what can you tell me about love and relationships for pile 4 over the summer? Ooh, okay. So we have the Star here. I always space them too far apart. Okay, we have the Star here, which is another major arcana. We've had 2 major arcana and a special card. So definitely, the collective energy is like really shifting. There's been just a lot of energy in this reading, so that's a positive sign. But anyway, so we have the Star. All right, and what can you tell me about love and relationships? Okay. Oh my goodness, we have the Star and the Moon here. So another major arcana, of course, and these cards are also consecutive. We have the Star's number 17, the Moon's number 18. And like right off the bat, the intuitive thing that would come to me with these 2 cards together is not to give up hope, because the things that you want are being brought to you. There's an element of divine timing at play here, and there's a need to cultivate faith. That what you want out of love and romance is on its way to you in divine timing. That's the first intuitive thing that's coming off the top of my head. And then the fact that it's the Star and the Moon, there might also be a message to pay attention to your astrological chart and like the moon phases. So it might be an important time to work with your astrological chart, just kind of like go maybe like a deeper study of that, especially because you are being very connected to divine sources right now. So the practice of divination, however that resonates for you, might be like something that you're being encouraged to develop over the summer in your career, definitely, and possibly also when it comes to love and relationships, because that might give you information that you do not currently have about the way that certain things might play out, or the timing in which you can expect to receive the blessings that you deserve in terms of love and romance. But it's the stars and the moon, so it's like astrology and working with different moon phases, like setting intentions during the new moon, etc., might be something that might also be very helpful for you in terms of love and relationships. So that's, again, just like an intuitive, because this is like the night sky. And then there's another thing that is like, this is kind of the bluey purple. It is pastel, but it is, it's the bluey purple of the third eye. And that's another message that your intuition is very much on point. You are very connected to spirit over the summertime, and that might be something that you are already feeling, or it might be something that you are really developing over the summer, whether it comes to your career or your love and relationships or other parts of your life. There's a connectedness to spirit that is coming through in all of these cards here. And then I do want to say we did have Libra with the Justice card. We also have Aquarius with the star and Pisces with the moon. So we have 2 air signs, and then Pisces, which is a water sign, and we do have water on the lock card there. So if any of those signs are in your chart, especially with this emphasis on maybe checking out your astrological chart, you might be being encouraged to see where your Aquarius, Pisces, and Libra placements are in your chart, and kind of like working with that to kind of maximize whatever you want to get out of your love and relationships, and maybe using it as a way to determine how to move forward in your career as well, if that resonates for you. I also want to say, because these are consecutive, we have the 17 and the 18, the 17th and 18th of the month, whether that's June, July, August, whatever, September even is technically still part of the summer. Whatever it is, it could be that like around the middle of the month, around the 17th or 18th of one of the months in the summer, or maybe all of them, might be significant dates for you. So I wanted to say that as well. I'm going to read these cards a specific way, regardless of whether you are currently in a romantic relationship, if you're looking for a relationship, if you're not looking for a relationship. The initial interpretation I gave, I think, is the way that I want to interpret these cards is like, have faith, keep moving forward, keep doing whatever spiritual work you're doing. It is working. You're very connected to the divine. Have faith that the things that you want out of a relationship are going to come towards you. Even if this could even, it's like working on healing, doing shadow work, that kind of thing, is going to be very powerful for you at this time. The moon here in conjunction with the star is giving me the sense that spirit is working with you. There are things that you cannot see that are going on behind the scenes because you're doing healing work and maintaining your faith in divine timing. That is helping things shift behind the scenes that spirit is helping you with. And the star is also, it's an omen of good fortune, that things that are, again, that the relationship that you want, whatever you want out of a romantic relationship, if that is an improved relationship with your current partner, if that is a new romantic relationship with somebody who is in alignment with you, however that resonates for you, if you're trying to manifest something, like this is a positive sign. The star is a very positive sign. The moon in conjunction with the star would just be telling me that you are currently working with spirit, and spirit is working with you. It's like a reciprocal relationship there. There can also be a warning with the moon card when it comes up in a romantic relationship. Specifically because the moon talks about things that we cannot see, or things that are hidden from us or kept from us, and the fact that these 2 cards are very much related to that like third eye color. There could be a message that if you are currently in a relationship, or you have a romantic prospect that comes towards you over the summer, there is a message here to trust your gut. if you see any red flags, if it seems like the person that you're with or the whoever comes towards you might be hiding something, there's a message here to trust your gut and trust your intuition when it comes to that. And if that does happen, if you find that unfortunately there could be a message, the person that if you're currently in a relationship, the person you're currently with might be hiding something from you. There's a message here that that you, as painful as that might be, it is not the end of the world in terms of like your future love and romance. Like, it's important to continue to have faith. There's like a rejection is divine protection kind of message with the fact that we do have the star here. So I don't want to kind of give that warning. If you are in a healthy and happy and loving romantic relationship, it could be that your partner has nothing to hide and this message is not for you. So only take it if you have already been feeling like there might be something that your partner is hiding. If you are resonating with that message, maybe you might have been like ignoring those feelings or not really sure how to feel about that, or if you should trust your gut when it comes to that. There's a message that yes, you should trust your gut when it comes to that with the Moon card here. So that's a specific message, again, that won't be for everybody. So only take it if it resonates for you. If this is talking about if you are currently single and are looking for a relationship, this might be saying that you might have people that are coming towards you over the summer who are hiding things, who are in kind of this moon energy of not necessarily being trustworthy. And in that case, it is important to trust your intuition and to have faith that there will be people who do come towards you who are reliable and trustworthy in the future. And it could just be that somebody comes towards you over the summer who's not that person, and you'll be able to trust your judgment about them and trust your intuition and pay attention to red flags if you see them, because they're there for a reason. If that interpretation is not resonating for you, there could also be a message. Like, the moon has multiple different interpretations. The star is pretty straightforward. The moon has different interpretations. The moon could also be saying that you might be, because the moon can talk about hidden things, and it can also talk about fantasies and things that are not the true reality. It can be talking about when you've, and this would be, it's not saying that you shouldn't be wishing, hoping, praying, manifesting an ideal soulmate partner. It's not saying that. It's perfectly okay to want and work towards a happily ever after with somebody. We're not saying that that's an impossible dream. And I wouldn't say that, and I don't believe that that's true. What I'm saying is there might be a specific person that you are hoping to have a relationship with or manifest a relationship with, and you might not have a very clear idea of who that person actually is. It might be that you are putting them on a pedestal, seeing them with rose-colored glasses, wanting to see the best in them, perhaps because you see the potential in them, but they might not be living up to that potential. And it could be that this is a message just to be careful, because your perception of, and this is only if you have a specific person that you've been thinking of in terms of love and relationships. If you are currently single and you've been kind of trying to attract a specific 3D person that you know the name of, not a soulmate that you haven't met yet, but if there's a specific person that you're thinking about, be careful with the moon card here, that you're not building them up to be better than they actually are, or putting them on a pedestal, or and this is going to contradict what I just said, but there's an overall message here that you can trust your gut when it's in your career and in love and romance over the summer. You can trust your gut. If somebody comes towards you, and you might have like specific experiences in the past with people who have certain traits or do certain behaviors, you might be seeing red flags that aren't there. And again, just because the moon card has so many associated interpretations, I don't want to, it's like you will know how and if which interpretation resonates for you when these things happen over the summer, right? So it's like the ultimate thing I'm saying is that you can trust your judgment. But with the Moon card here, and if this resonates for you, if you already know that this is something that you might do, there might be a message with the Star card to keep an open mind. If somebody comes towards you and you immediately zero in on one thing or one detail or one thing, it's like, okay, it's important to note that, yes, that's a valid way to protect yourself from being hurt in a way you may have been hurt in the past. But it might be worth having a second date with that person, or seeing them again, or just feeling them out a little bit more, or even confronting them about whatever it was that you saw in them, and just giving them a little bit more of a chance with the Star card here. And if they don't pass that second chance, if you kind of go a little bit deeper and it reveals to you that it's not the person for you, for sure. Like, you don't need to pursue anything you don't want to pursue, of course. But again, there's just a message with the Moon of like things that you're not seeing clearly, right? But you can trust your intuition about that, and it's important to have faith in divine timing, and that the things that are meant for you are going to come towards you. Like, the Spirit is not trying to pull the wool over your eyes in terms of love and romance, but it's like other people just have different intentions. And it could be that out of all the interpretations that I gave for these two cards, it could be that some apply to some of you watching, others apply to others of you watching, and it won't become clear to you until that situation happens over the summer, which group you fit into. But it will become clear at the time, if that makes sense. So hopefully I'm communicating that well enough, and I'm not just confusing people, but that's what I'm seeing with those two cards there. Okay, okay, interesting. So we have the Panther Spirit, which says reclaim your power. And this is the number 44, which might be that might be a synchronicity that you see a lot. They might be sent from Spirit with the Star card here. And 4 it's a very stable number. And it could be that, and 31 reduces to 4, actually. Lots of kind of 4s here for you. It could be that that there's a message there with the number 44, again, that you can trust that no matter what happens over the summer, you're going to be okay. You are going to get through whatever the situation is here with the Star and the Moon. And with Reclaim Your Power, there might be a specific message if somebody does come towards you, or if this is about your current relationship. If somebody is doing something shady behind the scenes, it is an opportunity for you to practice standing up for yourself in that situation and insisting to yourself, your partner, or love interest or whatever, and the universe that you deserve better. And when you put that out into the universe usually answers back, yes, you do deserve better. We're going to bring you better. So that might be a message there about this is an opportunity. If something happens, somebody's acting shady towards you, it's an opportunity to reclaim your power in love and romance and relationships. There could also be a message here that is part of, if you're doing shadow work, if you're doing spiritual work related to love and romance, that could be a message about specifically the type of work that you're doing over the summer. And this could be, if you feel like you've already been reclaiming your power, this is like a kudos from Spirit and saying like, yes, continue to be in this energy, continue to embrace the Panther Spirit, because that is going to bring you the things that you want in a relationship, and that is going to clear away any confusion or veil or anything that is going on with the Moon, anything that you can't see that other people might be doing, or if people have shady intentions. It's like things are going to become clear to you once you reclaim your power in love and romance and relationships. And this is like, it's an energy of not settling for less than you deserve. And again, like this, I just want to re-emphasize, if something shady happens over the summer in terms of somebody like a love and romance connection, it is an opportunity for you to practice assertiveness, boldness, and healthy boundaries. And putting out into the universe exactly the way that you deserve to be treated in a relationship. That's a very important and very powerful energy. And there might be an additional message here if you're resonating with what I was saying about maybe working with astrology or with the moon cycles. That might be a way to reclaim your power in terms of love and relationships, because you're working with spirit, you're working with the universe, and working with spiritual forces to bring your love and romantic relationships into alignment with what you deserve and with your divine purpose and your divine path, which is ultimately a very beautiful thing. So that's what I'm seeing with that. And then we're going to get some advice from Spirit. Sorry, I just knocked the camera. Okay. Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 4 over the summer? Oh, did a card flip? Oh, no. Okay. Okay. Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 4 over the summer? Okay. Oop, it fell on the floor. Ooh, okay. Very nice. We have the King of Pentacles. Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 4 over the summer? Spirit, what advice do you have for pile 4? Oop. And the 4 of Pentacles. Another 4 there. So right off the bat, that's a practical, grounded sort of energy. There might be, with the Justice card here in terms of your career, definitely there's a message about taking a practical approach, because it is about weighing the pros and cons. You know? So there could be a need for practical approach there. And then with this energy here in terms of your love and relationships, there might be a more emotional energy here. I'm also noticing that these 2 Pentacles cards, it's like it's the green of the heart chakra, but then we also have this kind of, the top here is this color, you know. So there may be a relation here to your relationships in terms of again working with divination tools, however that resonates for you. Numerology, astrology, moon phases, reading tarot, scrying, spell work, whatever resonates for you. Working with crystals, again, however that resonates for you, that might be like a very important piece of advice for you over the summer to practice and develop that, and maybe even bring that into your daily routine, because you are very connected to Spirit and Source over the summer. You can trust whatever guidance you receive, especially in terms of your career, but in other aspects of your life as well, love and romance, and anything else that we're talking about with these 2 Pentacles cards here. Again, these cards, Pentacles, very much associated with the physical world, and I associate that with like taking a practical approach, groundedness, and the fact that we have the 4 of Pentacles, and these 2 4s here, and then the 31 reduces to 4. It's like there's a message that there's nothing to worry about, and you're going to be in like a stable place. There's a feeling of security, safety, stability. That is all. I would also associate that with the Star. And groundedness. And so doing grounding exercises might also be really helpful for you over the summer, and that can be anything like anything that kind of like puts you in your body, you know, being outside in nature, something also very much associated with Pentacles, doing physical exercise, especially specifically yoga might be helpful, any kind of meditation, focusing on your doing breath work is also very grounding. Personally, I have found for myself. And if you work with crystals, whichever crystals help you feel the most grounded might be an idea to work with those crystals. So that's just some intuitive messages, again, with those cards, the fact that we have 2 Pentacles cards there. And what's interesting is we do also have Capricorn again associated with this 4 of Pentacles. We have Capricorn and Sun, and then we had Capricorn on the luck card. So there's an element of you're generating good luck for yourself through your hard work. And there's a message of the 4 of Pentacles. You have earned something. You have earned a certain level of safety, security, stability. And it's important to give yourself kudos for that. It is important to give yourself credit for the hard work that you have done and to celebrate your accomplishments. And you do not need to share the things that you've earned with everybody. You do not need to share your energy with everybody. It's okay to weigh the pros and cons. Especially when it comes to your career. but also in other areas of your life, if that resonates. You might also have earth placements, particularly Capricorn. And then we also have what's interesting is that, the pentacles are usually associated with earth, but what's interesting, what I love about this deck is they do include the astrological associations with all of the cards. And this one is the King of Pentacles is associated actually with air. And we do have Aquarius and Libra here. So you might also have significant air placements, particularly Aquarius or Libra. And again, you might be being encouraged to really study your birth chart, your astrological placements, and to try to, as best you can, to work with your astrological chart to kind of optimize, I guess would be the word, the actions that you are taking towards certain areas of your life. Again, that's just a message that's coming through for whoever that resonates for. And what's interesting is that there's almost a reflected message with this King of Pentacles in terms of overall advice that is related to this Justice card in terms of if you need to weigh the pros and cons of something. It's like taking that practical approach to it and also practicing work-life balance, practicing self-care, in however that resonates for you. It's like fine-tuning that balance in your life and prioritizing balance and taking a practical approach. And again, if that includes weighing the pros and cons of something, you are being encouraged to do that. And that the Pentacles is also a slow-moving suit. So there's a message here that there's no need to rush, that that Rome wasn't built in a day. And the things that you are trying to accomplish might not happen overnight. There might be a need to practice patience. That could be another thing that is associated with the star moon energy here. There's not a ton of specific messages when it comes to like romance. I'm not seeing, we don't have the Knight of Cups coming in. That's like a clearly about receiving a romantic offer. It's like this is like a more general energy here. A more overall energy here. It is a strong energy with both of these major arcana, and the fact they are consecutive in the deck. And there may be a message with the King of Pentacles that you do not need to know all of the answers, because you're being encouraged to practice faith, and that by doing this spiritual work and showing up for yourself and asking for what you deserve, and not settling for less than that, is going to bring you what you do deserve in time, in divine timing. Again, Pentacles, it's a slower moving suit. It's like a slow and steady wins the race sort of energy. So there might be, again, a message that you might not get every single thing that you want over the course of this summer. But you are definitely laying the groundwork. You are laying a solid foundation with this Four of Pentacles here for everything that you do want being brought towards you, and everything that you deserve being brought in towards you. So I'm seeing that this summer is about laying that foundation, and then your blessings will come in. And one of the blessings is, these two are Pentacles cards, which is associated with money. And you do have luck in your career section here. So there is a message here that you're working towards long-term security, long-term financial abundance. And these are this is long-term goal energy. And again, you're laying a foundation right now to achieve this. And it's not going to happen overnight, but because you're putting the work in with these Capricorn associations, you are generating that good luck for yourself. You are generating that abundance for yourself. It might just require an element of patience, require an element of faith, which I know can be frustrating to hear, but that's just the message that's coming out in the cards here. And there's also a message with the Four of Pentacles. Because you have worked hard to achieve a certain level of safety or security, or if this is like over the summer, you will have a sense of financial security. If that is something that is not necessarily true for you right now, that is something that is coming up in the cards. But it's like you can take the time to celebrate and appreciate the things that you have earned, because you have earned them. And because you have earned them, there's a related message with this Four of Pentacles to the Panther spirit message of not settling for less than you deserve. reclaiming your power, standing in your power, saying, I earned this. Whatever this Four of Pentacles, whether this is money, financial security, or a certain level of spiritual security. It's you've done hard work to get to this place, and you are standing in your power and saying, I built this, I created this, I worked hard on this, and I deserve to get what I want out of this situation. And that might include needing to take a practical look at where you are putting your time, energy, and resources, and whether you are investing your energy into people who might not be in alignment with your long-term goals, who might be doing shady things behind the scenes, if that resonates for you, or who are not good for your career or whatever we're seeing in this part of the reading. So it's like taking a look at things and saying, okay, if you are not in alignment, I'm not going to give you my time or my energy. And you, again, there's the message here with the Prism card and with all of this third eye energy about being very connected with intuition. You can trust your judgment, especially when you also take time and give yourself time to take a practical look and weigh the pros and cons. I think that might clarify for you the way that you feel about certain people, certain situations, certain opportunities, and really help you see beyond the veil to what is the truth of the situation. Okay, and then this is interesting. We have adjustments are required with the third quarter moon. And the way that I would interpret this is, the first word that popped into my head when I saw that is flexibility. And the thing about the Four of Pentacles is it's the Four, which is a very stable energy, and it's Pentacles, which is also a very stable energy. The way we could interpret that is about stubbornness, like an unwillingness to shift or make changes. There might be additional advice here about a need to be flexible in terms of, yeah, and again, there's a lot of fours here. It's like your spirit guides might be coming through with a message about, yes, it's okay to celebrate the things you've worked hard for. It is very much in alignment to stand up for yourself and ask the universe for what you deserve. Ask people to step up and expect people to step up, because you're not settling for less anymore. And at the same time, there is no need to feel like you're locked into a certain path or a certain direction or a certain relationship, because you're not. You can always shift. You can always make changes. And so the way that I would interpret this is not necessarily that you have to make changes, that adjustments are required here in order for you to get what you want out of the situation. That's not really the way I'm seeing it. The way that I would interpret that is just to keep an open mind and to remain flexible and to remember that you are never locked in to any one path, any one relationship, any one opportunity. It is okay if somebody comes towards you with an offer, if that person is as an earth sign, maybe this King of Pentacles might be somebody who comes towards you with an offer in your career. And this card is upright. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's okay to give yourself permission to take some time, take a step back. There's no rush, to do that common sense analysis and also ask yourself what your gut feelings are in that situation. You do not need to feel obligated to take any offer that comes your way. You can always run it through a cost-benefit analysis, and you can always run it through your divine senses, and you can do whatever divination work resonates for you to come to an answer that feels good for you. And if you need to cut certain people out of your life, if you need to say no to certain opportunities, even if there's nothing wrong with that opportunity on paper, if it's not the right thing for you, it is okay to say no to that. And that, I think, is the way that I would intuitively read this card here for you as advice from your spirit guides. It's just like safety, security, stability, all very positive things, but we don't want to feel like we're stuck. That's I think it's just like keep your options open and know that you're never obligated to go down a certain pathway. if it's not right for you. So that's what I'm seeing for you today, pile 4. I do hope that you have enjoyed this reading. If you did like it, feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below, let me know how it resonated for you. And if you like my channel and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe. And with that said, thank you again for watching pile 4, and I do hope to see you in my next video.